nice cup of morning roast. Featuring
with Fillmore's finest, Monte Hill. The pride of the Excelsior, Joe Butcher Boy Shasky. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, the morning roast.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Dukes to the intro.
I kind of want to hear it again.
You know what? Rewrite the show because it's not even 6:05
I
yet.
can't even believe that.
Craig, start the show over.
We had never heard
Start the show over. Start it over. Oh, we got Snoop earlier too. Oh, this is great. This is great. Let me know when you rewind that, Craig, back.
What a sports weekend.
Great sports weekend. Great college football. Great NFL. The Niners win. Jimmy looks really, really good. Jimmy looks good. All right, restart the show. Let's go. Reset.
It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast. Featuring
with Fillmore's finest, Monte Hill. The pride of the Excelsior, Joe Butcher Boy Shasky. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, the morning roast.
Oh, that is so sick.
Are we the first sports talk radio show in the history of sports talk radio to have one of our callers, want to have one of our roasters, basically talk over the intro? Maybe the first in history.
I love that.
I love that. It's different.
I do too.
It's fresh.
Wow, I got goosebumps, bro. How about those Niners?
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Good morning, everybody out there getting off their graveyard shift. Getting ready for work. If you're at work, what is happening? We got a lot going on here. A lot going on after that weekend. Of course, we're going to recap the Draymond Green presser from Saturday afternoon, and we saw the Warriors hit the court yesterday, and Jordan Poole looked damn good. Please don't tell me that's replaceable. So you just want to ship off Jordan Poole and say, hey, we go find another guard. No. Jordan Poole's a real deal. Wiseman looked really good. Steph was in his bag. We'll get to the Warriors and everything that happened over the weekend with them. Draymond's going to be away from the team. But we got to start off on a football Monday because, 888-957-9570. It's about the roasters. It's about the listeners. It's about the callers. It's about YouTube, the Comcast Business Text Line, and Twitch. Niners looked pretty damn good yesterday. And if Jimmy plays that way, the way he played yesterday, couple old no throws, we move on. Oh, it should have been a pick. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I don't play in that business. I don't invest in that business.
Wouldn't you agree that in this particular game, the one thing that I was really encouraged with Jimmy was that he avoided sacks on plays where there were free releases, and instead of just throwing away, he was like, you know what? Pre-snap, let me identify the one-on-one matchup, and I'm just going to throw it up. And I'm going to let my playmakers make plays. Like, some of the throws, you go, oh, no. I like it. Make George Kittle have a one-on-one and go up and get it. Give Juwan Jennings an opportunity to make plays. Give Tevin Coleman an opportunity to make plays downfield. Like, if Jimmy plays that way, this team could beat anybody.
They could beat anybody in the NFC with that defense. However, we have injury news, and that's the only thing that could derail this whole damn thing.
I know.
Robbie Gould's hurt. I believe the Niners could find a kicker. It sucks that Robbie Gould's hurt. The one injury I'm looking at is Emmanuel Mosley.
It sucks.
And you know how I feel about Emmanuel Mosley, Shasky. I believe he's the most underrated cornerback in football. I think he's solid. A lot of people don't forget about the 3rd and 15 in Super Bowl 54. But for the most part, as a 49er, Emmanuel Mosley has been solid as they come. And the combination of Mosley and Mooney Ward at the cornerback spot is one of the best combinations maybe since Deion and Eric Davis.
I counted 6 pass breakups in just the 3.5 quarters, my second time watching it through. 6. I can't remember 49er DBs, to your point, that made plays on the ball consistently the way these two do, and they both came up and stuffed the run.
Yeah, they stuffed the run. You know how I feel about Mosley tackling. He's been doing it since week 4, down into L.A. Memorial Coliseum, week 5, I should say, when he put Cooper Kupp on his back. That's what Mosley does. And see him get hurt on that turf late in the football game. Now some people are saying, the Niners should have gone for it on 4th down. And,
that's not fair.
That's not fair at all.
That's not
Things
fair.
happen.
Yes.
Things happen. And unfortunately, just like Jason Verrett last year against the Detroit Lions, late in the game in week number 1, tears his ACL. Good news is Verrett will be back at some point this season. But the physicality of Mosley will be missed. And you got some teams coming into town now. The Falcons got weapons. All right? Falcons gave the Bucs all they could handle. The Chiefs are coming in a couple of weeks. The Chargers are coming in a few weeks. You know, you got big boy football coming up. And then lose Mosley like that just stinks. It really stinks. And the injury bug just seems to loom large over Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers.
So you got no Kinlaw and no Armstead right now. I'm not sure what the duration is on those injuries. We know that Trent is out on the offense.
Did you hear Kinlaw Friday? Basically saying it's going to be a long year because the fluid builds up, and that stinks.
Look, B, I don't want to crush the guy. It feels like the knee is just going to be a problem for him, and it stinks. I mean, it just feels like I'd say we're looking at somebody woulda, coulda, shoulda on the knee. If you're asking me today, is he going to get his fifth-year option extended?
I don't know.
I would say probably not.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't.
It's tough.
You could probably re-sign him for, multiple years for whatever that one-year deal is. Armstead injury's big too, B. Right now,
Huge.
there's a bunch of D linemen I'm not accustomed to. Nick Bosa, the groin. Where's he at? Jimmy Ward plays one play and breaks his hand.
Unbelievable.
Can he play with a boxer's glove? I don't know if you could play secondary with one of those, I call it the Willis.
Right. The club.
Exactly. I don't think you can. It feels like Gibson's played pretty good in his absence, but the Emmanuel Mosley injury, of all the injuries, this is the one that I think they're going to have the hardest time finding comparable production from.
So look at Shanahan's tenure. 2017, 10th most injured team. 2018, 4th most injured team. 2019, 6th most injured team. 2020, most injured team. 2021, 3rd most injured team.
It's just,
And that's from our boy Stats on Fire, Rob Guerrera. And I saw that, and I was just like, damn. So you look at the injuries, got Elijah Mitchell out.
Yeah.
Trent Williams is out. Colt McKivitz is out.
I forgot about Colt.
Nick Bosa.
Jalen, real quick, Jalen didn't look that bad. Couple of plays by
Not
Brian
bad.
Burns. I mean, I'm just saying, he
Not bad.
was unplayable the week before.
Yeah, no, he
That's all.
I didn't notice him.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And Aaron Banks has been solid this year as well. We need to give him his flowers.
And to give credit where credit's due, McGlinchey played a really good game.
Nah, he was solid.
He did. I want to give him his love. When he plays bad, I crush him. So when he plays well, and I feel like the offensive line as a whole, last 2 games, has been fantastic.
So you have Nick Bosa hurt. Azeez Al-Shaair hurt.
It's just unreal.
Emmanuel Mosley hurt. Jimmy Ward hurt. Robbie Gould hurt. It's just, what's next?
I mean,
Is the Black Cat just walking in front of the 49ers sideline before games saying, all right, who's next? Who's next?
I don't know what to make of it.
It just stinks.
It really does.
I also like to,
and you didn't even bring up Trey Lance.
Didn't even bring up Trey Lance. Broken ankle. He's out.
So
broken fibula, whatever. He's out for the year. It just forgot. Already, felt like that happened last year.
I know. On the turf thing with Emmanuel Mosley, because if anyone's blaming Shanahan on not going for it on 4th and whatever, and that to me, we can argue about usage of a player. We can't argue about a pass breakup downfield. Those things happen. The bigger issue and the culprit, in my eyes, and it has been forever, you talk to anybody who plays artificial turf, soccer or whatever, the knee injuries are through the roof on the turf. All right? The way his legs stuck into the ground, you saw Baker Mayfield's leg do the same thing. I think it was before halftime. The turf needs to go. It needs to go. I don't want to watch players play on turf. Well, clearly, everyone's getting hurt left and right. They say 28% more likely to get hurt on turf, and that doesn't include the ACL injuries.
So the whole turf thing, first of all, it was funny because you were like, when did Carolina go to turf?
I said that a week ago.
Right. And it's already taken ACLs, right? But also, the NFL is a damn near $1 trillion business.
It's crazy.
Why can't all your fields have grass? They can take care of it during the week. I get you may have different events and different games, and you want to upkeep the grass. The hell with that. You're a $1 billion industry.
If you could grow grass indoors in Vegas and in Arizona, well, I know Arizona goes outside and then comes in.
And the same thing with Vegas.
Yeah, you're telling me Baltimore can go to grass,
right?
But Carolina can't?
Come on, man.
Explain it to me.
Clemson plays on grass.
And there was a return. And this isn't just the Niners. There was a return. J.C. Horn got hurt on it as well.
Horn got hurt,
and he's a stud. But there was a return by Carolina early in the game. I believe it was after the Niners hit the field goal. And you just hear Ian Eagle, the turf monster got him. What? The turf monster? What?
Yeah.
Where Carolina players just comes up gimping.
Right.
On the turf. It's ridiculous. Ask anybody who plays soccer on those fields. It's not forgiving for the ankle and the knee. And to me, all the money that you invest in all these people, you better have a playing surface. Did you hear George Kittle in the postgame?
No, I didn't hear him.
He made a really good point. He's like, look, I understand like baseball, like there are different kinds of grass, and even in football, there's different. But like for the most part, every baseball team plays on grass.
On grass, for the most part.
I think there's one turf field
Toronto
left.
plays on turf.
And I was going to say Tampa Bay.
Texas, I think
Is
Arlington.
Texas?
It's
I
like
thought
some
it
weird
was-
turf. What's that? The place, the little Globe Life Park. Globe Life Park, I feel like is maybe turf.
Point being, he was like, all the NBA players, they all play on hardwood. And I get it. That's like one consistent surface all the way around. But it is true. Like, there are so many different turfs, too. That's number one. He was saying each turf surface is dramatically different than the other. And so you can't even get accustomed, and you don't even know what kind of cleats to wear. And I just thought it was an interesting point. But the bigger, and this isn't just a Niner thing, just go around the league. Saquon got plastered into the turf in London.
Tottenham
Yeah,
Stadium.
and I'm like,
which is crazy because Tottenham has grass
I didn't
for their
even know
soccer
that.
team. And the field, it's
Wait, they
sick.
have grass for soccer?
They have grass. So what happens is the field, they push the seats back, and the grass goes under, and they flip it from turf. It's right underneath the
What?
turf. Yeah, I'll show you between
Why
the
didn't they
break.
just play on grass?
Yeah, I don't know. But they have grass for Tottenham.
It needs to be
And
outlawed.
the device they have is they knew they were going to get football games. So knowing that different teams are going to be coming over every single week or whatnot, they have a turf field right under it. It's really cool how they set it up.
Yeah.
But they have grass.
But it felt like, to me, it very much felt like that week 2, week 3, where they played the Jets and the Giants in back-to-back weeks of a couple of years ago, where it's like, bang, bang, bang. Guys are going out every other play.
Right.
I mean, it's just, by the way, the other big takeaway I got, there were 3 players on Carolina who belonged on the field with the Niners. Brian Burns, Christian McCaffrey, and J.C. Horn. That team is horrific.
Well, I told you about McCaffrey last week. Can you get McCaffrey? He's going to get worn down in that offense. It was basically McCaffrey or bust.
He's a baller.
Baker Mayfield cannot get the ball to any of his wide receivers. Baker's done.
Yeah,
Baker just doesn't look good at all as a quarterback. He doesn't see it. He panics in the pocket. They don't have a consistent running game. I just don't like anything about their offense.
And then, like, Matt Rule, you're going for it? Like, what was the 2-point conversion? It made no sense. Is there math behind that? I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Like,
this is another good point, too,
What's that?
650. I noticed this as well, Comcast Business Text line.
Give it to me.
UNLV plays on turf, and then the Raiders play on grass, and they both play in Allegiant Stadium. So UNLV plays on the turf, and the Raiders play on grass, which is really strange. I
didn't know that.
I don't know why certain teams prefer this or that. Maybe they don't want to do laundry. I don't know. Look, the injuries are piling up here. But one thing I do want to focus on is so far this defense with DeMeco Ryans jumping around on the sideline, which looks really, really fun, which makes me like, can you keep this guy for another season? Is there any way? Can he just bomb on a coaching? Can you send some bad reports to other teams? Like, hey, DeMeco's not ready. Because I'm selfishly, I want him back. I want him back in red and gold.
Well, and B, to take it a step further, I think a lot of people like myself are like, well, how many teams want to hire defensive-minded coaches? And then you look up this morning and you're like, you know, Robert Saleh's got the Jets playing pretty damn good. So if I'm
Matt Eberflus and the Bears, they don't quit.
Well, how about the coach up in Buffalo?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a
Sean McDermott.
defensive-minded coach. So
Brandon Staley, big win in Cleveland yesterday.
I still think he's a fraud, but that's neither here nor there. Point being is that, like, I think I was more reluctant to hire a defensive coach maybe 6 months ago. I'm looking around. I'm like, maybe some of these defensive coaches aren't so bad.
They're not so bad. Gang Green looked good, although Miami was down to their third-string quarterback. But they got some players. Sauce Gardner, Quentin Williams. They're playing well. Breece Hall.
Well, they got weapons. And then Cedric Wilson, or whatever Wilson, Garrett Wilson. Don't forget, Tyreek Hill put in a walking boot after that game.
I know.
Injuries galore around the NFL.
Injuries galore, man. And they don't have a quarterback in South Beach, Miami. Buffalo looks really good. But look, Jimmy Garoppolo is now starting to get comfortable. Jimmy Garoppolo yesterday, what I loved was a third down throw on the first drive. I thought it set the tone for the entire game on the sideline, saying, you know what, I'm going to throw to 85, go make a play number 85. I thought he was really good on third down. So you look at the last 2 weeks, after going 1 for 10 on third down against the Denver Broncos. 1 for 10. Remember they missed their first 9 third down conversions, 0 for 9, couldn't get anything going. Last 2 weeks for the 49ers on third down, 12 of 24, 50%. You will win a lot of football games when you're 50%. When you're north of 50%, you'll win a lot of football games because third down's the money down. That's the most critical down. That's what separates the Josh Allens, the Patrick Mahomes from the lower tier quarterbacks. You go 12 and 24 the last 2 weeks, 50% on third downs, you're going to win a lot of football games, Shasky.
My big takeaway, and anyone could go like, the running game looked great. It did. They had a lot of chunk plays, and they looked really good. I just love the way they spread the ball around. Like, nothing is driving me. When the team doesn't have potent offense, and you look and you're like, well, Kittle doesn't touch it enough, or maybe Ayuk doesn't touch enough, I'll listen to that criticism. In a day where they dominated the way they did, they spread it around. I've got no issues with how they... Juszczyk made plays. Jennings made plays. Kittle was getting touches early. Yeah, okay, maybe Debo didn't get a lot of looks in the first half. They found him in the second half. Ayuk made a couple of plays. Spreading it around, and boom, guys are making plays in the open field.
Yeah, Debo led the way with 9 targets, only 2 catches, 20 yards. J.C. Horn was all over him. That's a tough
He's a
matchup for
stud,
Debo.
B.
George Kittle, 6 targets all in the first half. I would have liked to see him get fed a little bit more.
Big fumble.
Big fumble, and in betting purposes, I would have liked to see him get fed a little bit more, but I will not talk about that at all. Also, another guy we need to show some respect to.
Who's that?
Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yeah.
We basically, after week 1, said this guy has no juice. We need a running back. And we were going crazy about Jeff Wilson Jr. But you know what? Yesterday, over 100 yards. He looks fresh. He's starting to get more carries. Think about his carries the last 4 games. 18, 12, 18, 17. And he's averaging on the season 5.1 yards a carry. Yesterday, 7.7 yards a pop for Jeff Wilson Jr. The week before, 4. Against the Denver Broncos, he had that one big play which inflates his yards per carry. But Jeff Wilson Jr. not killing you.
Well, you get credit for the big plays. That's one thing I think a lot of people, you take out this run. And no, you can't take out those runs. Like you
get credit for that.
You get credit for that. Like, his vision yesterday was really good. And the way that he was bouncing back and forth, finding the blockers, I thought yesterday he absolutely had a lot of burst. The guy that I'm most, and look, he had a great game today. I'm not denying it. I'm with you. I still would like to see a burner. I just love speed. How about Tevin Coleman's legs looking incredible?
We'll see how long it lasts, but he looked fresh.
His legs looked incredible. He made plays in the passing game, that beautiful catch near the sideline. I thought he was spry, cutting up field and finding more yards. Dude. Tevin Coleman looked like a revelation.
You know, it's funny because I could already hear Niner fans screaming, "Where is Jordan Mason? How are you going to play 28 over Jordan Mason?" And Coleman shut us all up very early.
He looked good.
He looked really good. That big
were you
catch on the
surprised?
sidelines. I thought he was cooked.
Me too.
I thought he was cooked. Now, I'm not as hard on him as you guys are when it comes to Tevin Coleman. I thought Tevin Coleman had a really good 2019. Really good 2019. But damn it, 2 years later, 3 years later, after going to the Jets and being lost in the shuffle, not bad. Not bad from Tevin Coleman.
As we're talking running backs, can you just visualize for 1 second, if Christian McCaffrey was on the 49ers.
I did that last week.
How good is that guy? He's the only guy on their offense who looked like he belonged. He looked like he belonged on the field of the Niners. And Drake Greenlaw was all over him.
Hey, well, Drake Greenlaw, by the way, is flying around, playing physical, playing fast. He was in his back pocket. McCaffrey takes so many shots because he's their only offense. They run him in the middle. They have him running Texas routes over the middle. He's their entire offense. And they have some weapons.
I know.
They have weapons. Like
DJ Moore. Hey, DJ Moore got beheaded by Greenlaw on that play right before the interception. But Baker Mayfield's footwork. This is the thing I don't understand. He pump fakes. His feet are already like wide and spread. He pump fakes, doesn't reset his feet, and he's just throwing the ball. Baker is so like I don't see it. Am I missing something?
Well, the Cleveland Browns didn't see it, and they moved off of him. The Carolina Panthers will probably move off of him.
His athleticism is just nowhere near what he thinks it is.
Baker Mayfield is not a starting quarterback in this league. He's just not.
I'm
not
kind of
anymore.
with you.
He's just he doesn't have the athleticism to get away from defenders. He can't see it because he's so short. His throwing arm is
he's got some arm talent. He's got some, but I think that his decision making and his poor mechanics do in whatever talent his arm has.
And now I think he's seeing ghost.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Now he's seeing ghost. Now he can't
clamoring for Sam Darnold, Bonte.
I know that's bad. That's bad. That's bad.
Speaking of seeing ghosts, sorry,
I mean, that's bad. It's bad. So Matt Rule will probably be one of the first coaches fired.
He looks clueless on the sideline.
He looks clueless. I mean, some of their decisions, when to go for a field goal, when not to go for a field goal, when to go for 2, when not to go for 2. Like, they went for 2 and it made no damn sense.
They were, 17-9. They scored a touchdown, and they went for 2, and I'm going, why?
Why?
And then you run it up the gut with McCaffrey?
It just made no sense.
It was weird.
No sense.
It was
By the way,
weird.
I got to say this because I thought about it. Red Zone in the morning, they had the split screen.
Oh, yeah. I watched Red Zone.
It was Jaguars-Texans.
Oh, Trevor Lawrence?
It was Trevor Lawrence, but it was Jaguars-Texans, and I'm forgetting the other game. I'm blanking on the other game that was on a split screen. But they were doing simultaneous snaps. Jacksonville, quick receiver screen, boom.
Was it the Texans game?
It was Jaguars Texans.
Yes. No, but I'm saying, what was the other one? The other one was
well, split screen. So whatever they were doing it, I don't remember I don't know what the game was. It was red zone.
I know.
So
I
it was all the other
too.
games. It was all the other games, but it was back-to-back receiver screens.
Oh yeah.
Jaguars running receiver screen, and then the other game I'm watching, they run a receiver screen, and I'm looking around the league. I'm thinking to myself, receiver screens may be everybody's favorite play nowadays.
100%.
I'm seeing everybody run wide receiver screens.
Everybody but Buffalo.
Everybody but they run receiver screens too.
And 80-yard bombs.
Yeah, well, they throw bombs too. I mean, Josh Allen. If you had Josh Allen, boy, man.
I thought he was going to break the Norm Van Brocklin.
Dude, he was unbelievable. They shut it down. They
Yeah.
shut it down. But everybody's running wide receiver screens, and I thought, okay, it's not just a fad. It's because these offensive lines stink.
Yeah, well, that too.
You got to get the ball out fast.
And you're going to force cornerbacks to tackle in space, right?
No doubt. No doubt. But I'm not going to poo-poo. Yes, the Panthers stink offensively. Their defense is I believe they have a playoff level defense.
Brian Burns
I
is
believe
sick.
it. Brian Burns is unbelievable.
He's sick.
Unbelievable.
And then J.C. Horn got hurt in that game, but he looks like a nice corner.
Right, nice corner. But their offense stinks. But I'm not going to poo-poo over this. The Niners went out there and handled business.
Oh, they thumped
And now
them.
they've won 2 in a row.
Yeah, they thumped him.
And now you're another game on this road trip away from coming back home 4-2. So now you can get greedy. Now you can get greedy against Atlanta, and that'll be a tough game.
Health, I feel like, looms over the whole season for every team at all times, but right in particular for this team. If you ask me, I would say if Bosa's not right, sit him the next 2 weeks. He gets the bye week. You know, like, I mean, if that, because to me, Emmanuel Moseley is a devastating injury. If you miss Bosa for an extended period of time, and this is a groin injury that we believe can get re-aggravated, I think you got to sit him as long as you need to. Look, it sucks. If you go 1-1, somehow beat the Falcons, you could lose to the Chiefs, you're fine. Like, I'm looking at this NFC West. Rams don't look right. Arizona doesn't look right. Seattle, good for them. Nice win. But we don't fear Seattle.
No, the NFC West,
Goes
I believe,
through San Francisco.
comes through San Francisco.
Or San Fran.
The Rams, they don't have it this year. Unless they make massive moves, that offensive line can't do anything. They have no consistent running game. They have no consistent passing game outside of Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
The Rams, I think, are shot. Super Bowl hangover is real. You can't beat that Cowboys team with that bad offense. Good luck to them. Geno and them they're putting up points, but they have no defense. Arizona's a team. The one intriguing thing in the NFC West is when DeAndre Hopkins get back.
Yeah, it's a good point.
What do the Cardinals look like when Hopkins get back?
What do you think of those black helmets? You didn't like them? Better than the all-white helmets. If you play Madden and you play against the Cardinals a lot, you always like change the uniforms.
Right.
And I'm like, Cardinals have horrible uniforms.
Yeah, they're not the best. They're not the best.
The black looked like it had sparkles inside the black.
I don't like their uniforms.
I thought it was fine.
I don't like their uniforms. But anyway, we're doing a lot. I know, love it. We're about to break right now. 6:27. You set it on the board, baby. Relax. Got your Giants hat on. You're stressing out
He's
over the
wound
playoffs.
tight.
Why is he wound so tight?
Because there was a report last night that Trey Turner and Aaron Judge are going to be targets of the San Francisco Giants. Bob Nightingale.
Oh, God. Oh, you should believe in Bob Nightingale. That's problem number one. By the way, this segment was presented by BMW Fairfield.
He wants in so bad.
Now open in the Fairfield Auto Mall to provide a luxurious, all-encompassing experience to address all of your BMW needs. Visit BMWFairfield.com today to book your visit. That's BMWFairfield.com today. Mole and Nick will get you on the other side. Plus, we will get into the Golden State Warriors and what happened over the weekend with Draymond Green, Jordan Poole, some words from Steve Kerr, words from Kevon Lodi. That's all coming up. Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full-service banking, no compromises.
To Crick with BetQL. You want to beat the books? Kansas City takes on Vegas at home on Monday night. Last year, the Chiefs dismantled the Raiders both times they played to the tune of 89-23. Are we looking at a repeat this year? The Chiefs are 7-point favorites at home. Given what we know about these two teams, it's looking like maybe a safe bet. Tease it with the over 51.5, and you could double your happiness. I'm Trista Crick, helping you beat the books.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
49ers took down the Panthers.
Turning left field for the touchdown. Spilling in, Tevin Coleman, the veteran. Garoppolo on the money. Deebo Samuel.
The only place to be after each 49ers game.
San Francisco has got a little something going now. The 49ers with a big win on Monday night over the Rams. They back it up with a victory in Carolina.
Feels great, baby.
95-7. The Game.
California, you deserve more. And with United Healthcare, you'll get more. Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. So call United Healthcare today. With the United Healthcare Medicare Advantage Plan, you get more from your Medicare dollar, now including better than ever dental, vision, over-the-counter, and prescription drug coverage. Call United Healthcare at 1-888-CALL-UHC today and speak with a licensed sales agent. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
It's the bottom of the ninth, the game's on the line, and your small business needs a loan fast. What's your move? Go to OnDeck.com, America's largest online small business lender. With OnDeck, you can apply in minutes, and if approved, get your funds as soon as the same day. Go to OnDeck.com. Your loan is on deck. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank, a Utah Chartered Industrial Bank member FDIC. Limited eligibility for same-day funding. OnDeck does not lend in every state. All loans subject to lender approval.
Don't waste your time trying to sell your old car. Donate it to Cars for Kids. It's the easiest and fastest way to donate your car and get a tax deduction. Donate online at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
As you know, sports teams plan well ahead of the next season. If you're thinking of remodeling your home, consider the same strategy. Talk with your designer or builder now about your next project. Golden State Window and Door has new inventory coming online. Milgard, Anderson, and Marvin. See Golden State Window and Door's wide variety of accessories at convenient showrooms across the Bay Area or goldenstatelumber.com. Since 1954, Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-200-1966. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Now it's time for the closer of the week. Presented by LiftMaster and RNS Doors. Turn your garage into the envy of the neighborhood. Visit rnsdoors.com.
The closer of the week is Deebo Samuel, who climbed high in the sky, brought it down, and took one to the house.
One-on-one with Ramsey. Can't bring him down. Samuel, highlight reel, touchdown.
Recently, my garage door opener was not working. I was in need of a closer. I was put in touch with RNS Doors, and they hooked me up with a brand new garage door opener from LiftMaster. With LiftMaster's MyQ connectivity, my garage door opener can be controlled right from my smartphone. You'll know when a door or gate has been left open and can close it with a tap, no matter where I am. Be one of the first 10 callers and receive 20% off a LiftMaster garage door opener when you purchase a premium garage door.
Call 1-800-FIX-A-DOOR. That's 800-FIX-A-DOOR. Or visit rsdoors.com. R&S Doors. Look for the red truck.
This Hispanic Heritage Month, the Multicultural Institute is celebrating 31 years in the community. That's 31 years of experience coming together to support and uplift each other. The Multicultural Institute connects day laborers and domestic workers with employers to ensure dignity while also providing comprehensive year-round services for the Bay Area's low-income Latinx community. To hire a day laborer or learn more about the Multicultural Institute, visit their website at mionline.org. That's mionline.org.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For Butch's Coffee. For EJ's Sandwich Shop. For Springfield Family Dental.
Every day, Staples helps every kind of small business create bold signs that sing. And now, get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Ends 12/31. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
Chucka. Garoppolo, flip it. Underneath, blockers in front. Turning it upfield for the touchdown. Spilling in, Tevin Coleman, the veteran. He's back with the Niners, and he's back in the end zone.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Hey, man. 2 in a row. Excuse me. 2 in a row. That's what they call a winning streak. And the Niners are now 3-2 in sole possession of first place in the NFC West with a big date in the ATL next week down in the Mercedes-Benz Dome against Atlanta.
You know, the injuries are going to be the big concern, right? That's the worry.
How can they not be?
I mean, absolutely. The team is playing really, really well. Like, when you beat a team, I don't care if that team sucks. And I know, the Panthers, they're going to fire their coach. Dude, they dismantled them.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah, exactly. It was a business trip. So I'm really excited today. I feel like Jimmy's trending in the right direction.
Jimmy looked good
yesterday. And I feel like the playmakers are all getting touches. The one area that I am worried about on this team, and it's just a small one, special teams. I mean, my God, you spent money in free agency to bring in guys who could be, part of the kickoff coverage units.
It's embarrassing.
It's constantly an issue for this team. Like in 2011, we had the Tony Montana squad, and it was a great coverage unit. Yet at the end of the year, when push came to shove, Ted Ginn Jr. inactive for the NFC Championship game, and Kyle Williams, multiple fumbles. It cost him a chance to win a championship. Special teams always finds a way to rear its ugly head. And I'm worried about it. Robbie Gould gets hurt on the play.
Right.
Like twice they had.
Exactly. He had to make a tackle on a kickoff return. Whenever the kicker's making a tackle on kickoff return, you know it's not good. So special teams, not good yesterday. Not good at all. Defensively, this is a top 5 unit, if not the top unit in the league. What they do, too, they suffocate you. They force you to throw quick. They tackle. They hit. They play so damn fast. Hufanga's just a stud. But, Drake Greenlaw's coming along. Ever since week 1, he had that terrible game in week 1 against Chicago. He's looked great. Yeah. Fred Warner Jr., great. Right?
He's playing with the speed and the decisiveness from 2 years ago.
He's the best football he's ever played, I believe.
He looks great.
Best football he's ever played. The Mosley injury stinks because you talk about tackling. Always cite this as in 49ers are one of the best tackling teams because you don't get to tackle much in practice anymore. Mosley being down and his tackling on the perimeter. How many tackles did he make yesterday on Christian McCaffrey? His ability to blitz.
Yeah.
His ability to bring down wide receivers without missing tackles to where those 5-yard catches turn into 20-yard catches. It'd be interesting to see what they do. Do they go to Lenore? Do they go to Ambry Thomas? Do they go to Sammy Womack III? How long until Jason Verrett is back? Special teams got to be buttoned up, especially with all these injuries. There's no doubt, though.
Yeah, there is. And, the thing I can't get my head around is, I watch these two corners, and it feels like in terms of turning around, locating the ball, and making a play on it in the air, these are the two best I've seen in decades for the Niners.
Right.
I mean, Travarius Ward is locked down.
Dude, Mooney Ward, I did not. So when they signed him,
I didn't know he was this good.
He's a Kansas City Chiefs corner. We see the Kansas City Chiefs defense. They've been the weak link of that team for so many years. How good is Mooney Ward?
Honey Badger will make a couple plays in the backfield.
Juan Thornhill is a good safety.
I do like him.
I love Juan Thornhill.
You like him coming out.
Yeah, I wanted him.
You were all over him.
I wanted Juan Thornhill.
I do
so
like
bad.
him, though.
Hey, we'll see him tonight against the Raiders. Mooney Ward is just, he's always around the football. He doesn't get burnt. He plays through the snap or through the whistle.
Yep.
He deflects passes. He makes sure he knocks it. Strong hands. Mooney Ward is a baller, dude.
I love the way when, even when he's beat or he's out of position ever slightly or the ball's just perfectly placed.
Through the ball.
Yeah, he got the hand up underneath there, and he's allowed a little more physicality. That's one thing I've noticed. When you have status in the league, it feels like the referees allow for more contact. If I just put Lenore out there or Ombre and they did the exact same, not that they are as good as him, but it just feels like you're more inclined to throw that flag.
And I loved him in that number 7.
He looks clean.
He looks clean in that number 7.
He does.
He looks clean. Let's go to Nick and Berkeley real quick, Shasky. Nick and Berkeley, what's happening? You're on the roast here on the Victory Monday. Victory Monday on the roast.
Thanks that we have a pair of corners like that. I mean, you can't really count Dion because he was something special. But, man, I really love the way that our defense is swarming around the ball. And I got to give shout-out to the offensive line, man, because they was clearing cats off the pile. And that youngster from El Cerrito, Banks, he was putting in work yesterday, man. I was loving that.
No doubt. Banks is looking good. Offensive line is starting to gel together. And I loved how Jimmy, even though there was rushes coming and guys were at his feet, Jimmy hung in the pocket yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
I got to give him credit. There was no happy feet. There was no twinkle toes. He stood in that pocket. He delivered some good balls yesterday.
There was a couple of throws. One of them, he had the check down to, it looked like use check, and instead he threw a little deeper. It was on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5, and instead he had a guy barreling into him, okay, and he stood in there, and he threw it to George Kittle over the top, and I was like, let's go, Jimmy.
Yep.
Let's go. Throw it to the playmaker, pass the sticks. Like, that's all we want. Give these guys opportunities, and I love his decision-making. A couple of throws, not perfect, but guess what? 0 turnovers.
0 turnovers.
A couple of sacks that weren't drive-killing sacks.
Yep.
I can live with that. If he plays like this, they're going to win double-digit games, and they're going to be a threat to beat anybody, any spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll be playing deep into January if Jimmy Garoppolo plays like that. If he plays like that, and there's still some things on the table, but look, man, getting Kittle involved early, getting Debo involved, and force-feeding him. I want to see a little more Ayuk. But Jauan Jennings, the thing is with this offense, you get the ball in these playmakers' hands, whether it's Kittle, whether it's Jauan Jennings, whether it's Deebo Samuel, even Kyle Juszczyk. Kyle Juszczyk had a great stiff arm on the 3rd down that he went to go run for a first down. What I'm getting at here, Shasky, is the yak. Yards after catch. Giving these guys an opportunity. How many yak yardage did Jauan Jennings have yesterday?
Well, he
looked really good.
2 different plays on 3rd down where it felt like he caught it underneath the sticks and then was like, yeah, I'm turning upfield and I'm going to stay in bounds and blow past a smaller corner who can't tackle him.
No doubt. Let's hit the break here. 888-957-9570. Very good Victory Monday.
Oh, huge.
We will get into the Warriors. Maybe we'll just do it next year as the calls trickle in. How'd you feel about Draymond Green's presser Saturday? Did you feel he was remorseful? Do you have a different feeling about the situation now after you had a couple days to let it settle in? I think Jordan Poole and his professionalism is one thing that's underrated. The guy went out there and just balled out yesterday like nothing happened. So I do want to get into it. I know you got some thoughts on that, Joe Shasky, the Butcher. We'll get all into it, plus a Victory Monday. Niners win over the Panthers. They're now 3-2 in sole possession of first place in the NFC West. This segment was presented by Golden State Lumber, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com. What's coming up on the game? Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises. Your questions coming up, or your calls coming up on the Morning Roast here on 95.7 The Game.
Got it! Klay Thompson with a 3. Elevation sensation for Wiggins. 5. Once again, the Bays team is the best team.
The only place to hear Golden State Warriors basketball.
Holy cannoli.
95.7 The Game.
The greatest story ever told will be coming to an end. Dead & Company, the final tour, hits Oracle Park July 14th and 15th. And 95.7 The Game has your tickets. For your shot to win, get to 957thegame.com/contest.
Score big with Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with the game-changing speed of supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers the field and then some. And blocks billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you protected at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
UCSF Sports Medicine Center is dedicated to treating every type of athlete, from kids to adults, amateurs to elite professionals. As one of the best orthopedic programs in the nation, UCSF has programs to optimize an athlete's performance and the latest advancements to treat the most complex sports injuries. With locations throughout the Bay Area, now including Marin, Walnut Creek, and Redwood Shores, it's even easier to make an appointment today. Visit ucsfhealth.org so you can get cleared to play. UCSF Health, redefining possible.
At Right Way Garage Doors, we consider what we do inspired craftsmanship. We see our craftsmen as artists using wood, glass, and metal as their brushes. Your home is their canvas. Their work inspired by the vision you have for your home's first impression. Right Way Garage Doors has been delivering the highest quality work with the right value and the right customer experience for 42 years. For a limited time, save up to $500 plus get no interest financing for up to 24 months. Call 877-DOOR-808 or visit rwgaragedoors.com.
At Harris Ranch, we do beef, just like we've done for over 50 years. Beef that's raised locally right here in California. Tender steaks, awesome burgers, and California classics like tri-tip roast. The flavor you crave, the quality you trust time after delicious time. Come on, it's time to get out and grill. Harris Ranch, we do beef. Legendary beef, legendary quality.
There's a lifetime of beautiful outdoor living waiting for you at Dolan's. It's fiber-on decking for easy, carefree living. Why choose this durable composite? There's an amazing choice of colors. The rich look of multi-chromatic exotic hardwood. It resists splintering, rotting, and cracking with really low maintenance. See the colors and learn more at dolanlumber.com. See the real Fiberon at Dolan's Home Improvement Centers.
Gorgeous gaming, stunning streams, unbelievable bandwidth. It's another Lifestyles of Gagillionaires. Meet the AT&T Fiber customers winning at life with hyper-gig speeds. Meet Gagillionaire Terry. While his love of streaming horror movies has him constantly on the edge of his seat, his internet bill won't give him a scare.
Oh, don't go in there. I'm telling you.
Because since Terry upgraded to AT&T Fiber with hyper-gig speeds, he doesn't worry about data caps or equipment fees.
Come on, man. The door's open for a reason.
And best yet, he also doesn't stress about a price increase at 12 months, because with the amazing Gagillionaire lifestyle comes an exquisite sense of tranquility. Most of the time. Live like a Gagillionaire. Get straightforward pricing with AT&T Fiber. Internet that upgrades everything. No data caps, no equipment fees, and no price increase at 12 months.
Limited availability in select areas. Visit att.com/hypergig for details.
Okay, 3 more climbers, 7 loggers.
Ted's sustainably sourced logging company is growing a new branch.
What about truck driver contracts?
Which means a new HR manager will be the first hire to fall.
Then we'll need to staff up the warehouse.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
What's your retirement look like? With Fidelity Income Planning, a dedicated advisor can help you create a flexible income strategy to grow and protect your wealth so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
Poole with a beautiful move, goes behind the back, floats it up and in. That was ridiculous by Jordan Poole. Poole now with a 13-point quarter, 20-point game.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Tim Roy on the call, of course, right here on 95.7 The Game. Jordan Poole, special, man. What a special performance yesterday for Jordan Poole. You look at what he did, team high 25 points, team high 6 assists. That third quarter eruption where he was just in his bag, 3-9 from the three-point line. You had Steph Curry doing what he does with 24 points and 4 assists. You saw the pick and pop, the pick and roll with Jordan Poole and James Wiseman, a little two-man game. That was really, really special. And, of course, the big thing over the weekend was not having Draymond Green around after what happened at practice last Wednesday. The video surfaced out to the public, was released on TMZ Friday morning. Of course, that broke at 6:42 a.m. We were all over it here on the Morning Roast. Draymond Green punching Jordan Poole, and it looked nasty. Draymond Green admitted that it looked nasty. And he talked for 40 minutes Saturday about the situation. He took questions, and he basically, the Warriors and Draymond Green mutually agreed to, hey, why don't you just stay away for a few days? We'll see when Draymond comes back. And we're still awaiting Jordan Poole to talk. I thought Jordan Poole made speak yesterday after that game.
I did too.
He did not. Yeah. So this is still going to loom large until Jordan Poole speaks. So we're in a dilemma on the roast here, Shasky. We're in a dilemma. It's a victory Monday for the 49ers. They beat up on the Panthers. But I think you and I both felt like, you know what? If the Niners don't turn the ball over, they're going to walk away with a victory. The Panthers stink. They really suck. Like, Matt Rule's going to be gone soon. Baker Mayfield's not a good quarterback. Offensively, they are inept. But what's going on with the Golden State Warriors was the biggest story in sports to me. It was the biggest story. You have a 4-time champion, a 4-time DPOY, who's just as important to the Golden State Warriors as Jordan Poole. And what do you do with this situation? Now, the Warriors were ticked off about the leak. You heard it from Steve Kerr. You heard it from everybody around the organization, Kevon Looney. We'll get to what he had to say. But the leak was a bad look for this organization. Now, was somebody out to get Draymond? Was somebody out to get the Warriors? I have no idea. But it wasn't a good look. So I'm going to get your thoughts here. I'll step back for a second, Chasky. What was your thoughts on what Draymond Green said Saturday, his apology, Steve Kerr, and the overall outlook of the Golden State Warriors?
I mean, I thought I saw a remorseful Draymond Green. It really doesn't matter what I interpret or how I'm feeling about his sincerity. What really matters is how that locker room is going to accept him. And listening to Kevon Looney last night in his post-game presser, it felt like, I was surprised to hear how Kevon was like, yeah, Draymond really messed up. And it's going to take some time. I mean, I'm paraphrasing here. He's basically saying it's going to take some time for him to build the trust back up. Anybody who's ever, whether it's an addiction problem, whether it's some sort of a cheating or any kind of issue where you've broken the trust with someone you love, your significant other, a family member, a friend, whoever, a coworker, time heals those wounds. And it's up to the individuals that you scorned for them to determine what that process looks like. Some people are way more forgiving and can turn the other cheek and boom, they can go right into being fine. Others, it takes time. So I don't have a good feel for what that locker room's feeling.
Right.
I'll say this for Draymond Green on one thing. One thing that it just bugged me, and I feel bad in this sense because I've been there. When you have an issue, and I was this way, whether it's addiction, whether it's anger management, there's a denial. And you see this a lot. I got arrested. The cops shouldn't have arrested me, blah, 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 blah. No. You getting arrested was the vehicle for you to realize that this is rock bottom. Now, the leak is what Draymond was really mad about. And I think the organization deserves to be mad about the leak.
Right.
Here's where I come down on Draymond. Draymond, I hope over time you realize, no, the leak was actually a message and a vehicle for you to realize that you need to make changes.
Yeah.
And you being so angry about the leak, you should project that energy toward changing yourself, because I think the leak being out there and the video being so profound and everyone getting an opportunity to see it, I hope that's an opportunity down the line for you to reflect that these actions, they're not becoming of a person of your status in the league.
No doubt. Here's what he said to open up his presser Saturday morning. I think it was around 11 o'clock when Draymond started speaking at Chase Center. Here's what he had to say about speaking to the media.
I know everyone was expecting me to go speak on my podcast. Quite frankly, I don't hide from anything. I own my mistakes. To go sit on my podcast would be not taking questions and hiding from the issue at hand. And so I wanted to acknowledge that. And, for those out there that thought that, those were just your thoughts, but I wanted to do this first.
Now, here's the official apology to Jordan Poole and his
I thought that
family.
was sincere right there
No
from
doubt.
Draymond.
I thought for the most part he was remorseful.
But I mean, for that, like the audio of taking calls. Keep going.
The embarrassment that Jordan has to deal with, that this team has to deal with, that this organization has to deal with, but also Jordan's family. His family saw that video. His mother, his father saw that video. And quite frankly, if my mother saw that video, I know how my mother would feel. I know what her I know what her reaction would be, and I know what her next step would be. And so for that, I apologize to his mother and his father, and his family, his friends that care for him, because that is a sense of, or a level of embarrassment that they have to deal with too.
There's no doubt, and a lot of people coming down my road over the weekend saying, "Well, how can Jordan Poole be humiliated?" Well, you heard from Draymond Green right there. That's an embarrassing look. It's an embarrassing look. Like, you're at practice and one of your teammates hits you and you drop like that and the whole world's talking about it. They're memeing you. Let's face it, Jordan Poole throughout his career, every year we're going to bring that up. Every year it's going to be in the back of our mind. Every single game is going to be in the back of our mind.
You weren't thinking about it in the first 5 minutes of that game?
Absolutely.
Of course I was. I feel like in terms of the steps forward for Draymond Green, for him to acknowledge the anxiety that both of their families are going to have to feel because of just think about it, right? Think about any kind of work setting. Let's say me and Bonte get into a fight for whatever reason. It doesn't have to even be physical. And then me and my wife and him and his girl, we all go out. It's going to be awkward. Yep. Even if we're in a group social setting and there's lots of other people there. Right. You've all been in those situations. Right. And some people deal with it in different ways. But for Draymond to acknowledge the hurt that his family, because I was thinking about what if that was my kid?
I know. Let's talk about it Friday. We're thinking about what is Jordan Poole's family thinking right now? What is he thinking? Sitting in his apartment or house, wherever Jordan Poole lives in the Bay Area. What is he thinking? And then his buddies and his family and all that. That's the first thing I thought about.
Well, and then how are my teammates going to perceive me now that I'm Jordan Poole? Am I a sucker? Am I some guy that got swung on? And I'm not saying that people feel those ways, but you think internally because you're projecting what are they thinking about me? Right? You know what I mean? And we've all been there. It's not shame isn't probably the right word, but it's just awkward at the minimum.
Right. Yeah, it was awkward. Now, here's what Draymond Green had to say about rebuilding the trust of his teammates and the coaching staff.
For me, that is the task at hand, to rebuild trust in our locker room, to pull everything back together as it needs to be pulled together in order to compete and defend a championship. And although that is the least of my worries right now, it has to stay at the forefront, because most importantly is everybody put the work in order to compete for a common goal. And I can't allow myself to be the reason that doesn't happen.
And then he said it wasn't over contracts.
I've heard reports that, it's over a contract, or him getting an extension or me getting an extension. I can assure you I don't count other people's pockets, number one. And so that's not something I would ever start doing. The way I was raised, that is simply hating on another man's situation. And that's something that you just don't do.
It's interesting. Whenever I have it, and again, I've admitted to all the crazy things that I've unfortunately done in my life. It's never one thing. It's never you and me get into it, and it's only because of that. It's usually I got a bunch of different things that are going on inside this bucket of anger that I've got going, and it just overflows. And it may be different degrees, maybe a little tiny little Post-it note here and an essay worth of issues over here, but it's usually a combination of things in that bucket that overflow. So whether it's the contract or this, I'm sure it was a totality of things, and it wasn't just one thing. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows it's one thing. No, it's probably a lot of things.
Yeah,
both between the two of them and Draymond, and gosh knows what else is going on with him. Who knows what's going on with Jordan Poole? But I do not think it's one thing. I think it's a variety of things.
Yeah, there could be a variety of things, and that just, Draymond, and I don't know if we have the sound of this. Craig Mack, if you could look this up. Draymond Green talked about, him going through something very personal that day. And that mentally he was going through something very personal. Now, we all go through personal stuff. We come into the show 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And who knows what the hell you went through the night before. Mm-hmm. Who knows what I went through the night before. Maybe there's an argument in our house. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Just stuff happens. But when you check in to your profession, all that stuff has to go to the wayside.
Yes.
When we do this radio show from 6 to 9, all that stuff about what I went through the night before at home or if there's something going on with my family, you got to save that.
Yeah.
You can't let that affect your performance. So when Draymond talked about, I was going through something that day and I was on edge and I was on full tilt, maybe the growth there is, hey, let the coaching staff know, hey, I don't have it today. Maybe I could sit out. Maybe I could sit out because all of a sudden that situation that you took from home onto the practice court spilled over and made a mess.
Yeah.
And now we got the situation here where we're going to be talking about it all season long because you punched Jordan Poole, and now we don't know if you're going to get suspended. We don't know if you're going to be there at ring night. We have no idea what the hell to make of the situation, nor how does Jordan Poole feel? How does he feel?
To me, that's the number one thing that we don't know. That's the unquantifiable at this point. Regarding stuff that you have in your personal life carrying over, I think it's easy for all of us to say, leave it at home. Once you clock in and you walk through the doors, leave it. And this is what I would say to Draymond as a rebuttal.
It's easy to say, but you have to do it.
Well,
you have to do it.
I will grant you one or two of these. Like if this happens, like B, you're going through some tough things, I'll grant you one or two. This has been a repeat. Now, this is obviously way different than some of the other things, but I'll grant you a couple of leeways. Mm-hmm. The totality and the body of your work, at some point you become Chicken Little. Now you're just, crying to the moon. You're the wolf that's howling at the moon. And at some point you have to accept culpability or you have to go seek treatment, right? Like whatever that looks like for you in your particular life. So I'll allow a couple of missteps here and there. B, how many outbursts has this guy had?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a laundry list of things. And so at some level, he's got to come to to Jesus here and he's got to change his life. And this is the other thing that I would say on this, because they're saying, he's going to be away for a couple days. I don't know if that means weeks, days, months, years. I don't know. But to think that you're going to go into any kind of, walk away and I'm good. I'm ready to go. If he truly has issues and he's truly worried about recovering, you talk to anybody in every recovery, gambling, addiction, anger management, etc. It does not go away with one therapy session. This is something you are going to have to work at for the rest of your life. In the Serenity Prayer, and anybody who's been in an addictive family understands it, like it is a minute by minute, day by day, week by week thing. This is not something that you just go to rehab like in South Park and you go out, boom, I'm rehabbed, I'm rehabilitated. You are going to be constantly tinkering and working on yourself to be better. So he's got a long journey ahead of himself.
No doubt about that. No doubt. Let's go to Gene in Oakland. Actually, before we go to Gene, you are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at AC1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And don't forget, you can also watch us every day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. Gene in Oakland, listening on the radio. What's up, Gene? Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, so as you guys well know, I've been Draymond's biggest defender over the years. I even defended him when this story first broke, at least to the extent of saying, what's Jordan Poole's part in this? And, maybe the kid needs to be talked to about his mouth, too. But anyways, seeing that video, I have to say I'm very, very upset about it. I'm very disappointed. And I think what's lacking here is proper punishment. I think Draymond needs a 10 to 15 game suspension minimum. And you're asking, why is Poole not saying anything? And what is he thinking? Well, if I'm in Poole's position, I might be thinking, listen, this guy slugged me. He assaulted me. He committed a felony, for Christ's sake. And what does he get? He misses a few preseason games. Where's the justice in that? Maybe I'm considering, filing assault charges against him, all right? So I don't think this thing is going to be settled until there's a proper punishment.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Gene. And what is that punishment? I have no idea. The Warriors are trying to work on it in-house, but it's not in-house anymore.
Can we agree, when we talk about punishments and things, I think for every segment of the Warrior fan base, there's going to be a part of them that are, no matter what punishment you put out there,
it won't be
significant enough. And there's going to be another segment of the Warrior fan base and people in the world that are going to say, why are you even punishing them at all? Right. I think you're going to have the whole gamut of emotions in the pockets of the Warriors, fandom, where people are going to say he shouldn't deserve any suspension to no suspension's good enough.
Why? Because people are saying when you push a guy, you got to be ready to get hit. You got to be ready to get hit. Now, you want to bring those playground rules to the NBA, be my guest. But the playground's one thing. The streets is one thing. You're the billion-dollar corporation at practice. This isn't the streets anymore.
No, I'm with you.
Trust me.
I'm with you.
You grow up in the hood, you do everything you can to get up out the hood. Nobody wants to live in the hood and live by those rules anymore. People want to live comfortably. You don't want to be on the street ball court. I want to go to a gym and just play ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to get into any fun. I'm not fighting over the pickup game. Been there, done that. This ain't the hood. This is a facility for an NBA team that is worth billions and billions of dollars. Jordan Poole pushed him to get out of his face. Draymond got into his face. Jordan Poole did what he did. We would do it there. Hey, man, get out my space, dude.
Yeah.
Get out my space.
To me, it was a defensive push and kind of like he pushed and then took 2 steps back. To me, that was one of those like, please get out of my my area here. Now, again, we don't know what was said, and at some level, it's irrelevant what was said. You guys can't put your hands on each other like that. I mean, it's just. The whole thing has got varieties. And it be to your point on the whole, like, where I'm from, we do this and that. Everyone's going to bring however they were raised, they're going to bring that perspective to how they view that video or how they feel they would react in those situations. We have societal norms, and that went beyond societal norms, is all I'm going to say.
That's what I think. But like you said just a few minutes ago, a lot of people think that Draymond did nothing wrong. I saw a lot of. I was at the DC Stars football game Saturday, and I ran into a couple buddies and stuff. I was like, man, Draymond, he wilding, but he didn't do nothing wrong. He didn't do nothing egregious. A lot of people have that mindset. A lot of people will be irate if he's suspended for one game, one half, one quarter.
So here, and I 100% agree with you. That's what my point was. Like, some people are going to say no suspension, and we're going to go all the way to the other side of the room and say no suspension is good enough to appease me. This is where I fall now, and I've had time to think about it. It's all about what is going to be enough for Jordan Poole and him to be able to move forward, so where the rest of the team as well doesn't let it linger. No that doubt. To me is the most, and I don't know what the answer to that
the leadership, is. You could tell Steph Curry was ticked off when he spoke last Thursday. Steve Kerr's been ticked off all weekend. He was ticked Saturday. He wouldn't answer anything.
It felt like turning of the tide in terms of Steve Kerr's feelings on Draymond.
No doubt.
I felt like Steve Kerr had the final straw broke the camel's back there. Yep. That's what it felt like to me. Now, I'm sure at some point he could win back some of that trust. But right now it feels bleak.
Let's go to let's listen to this Draymond Green sound. His thoughts on the video. Thoughts on the video.
What did I think of myself in the moment? I watched the video 15 times, maybe more. Because when I watched the video, I'm looking at the video and I'm like, yo, this looks awful. This looks even worse than I thought it was. It's pathetic. And then I had to take a step back too and realize that this video was actually released this way to look that way, for whoever released the video. I don't know who released the video. I am very thankful to the Warriors organization for taking it as serious as they have and launching the investigation that they have, because quite frankly, they don't have to. They're not obligated to launch an investigation for something that I did wrong. They're not obligated to do that. So I appreciate them taking that as serious as they have and are doing.
So what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on him reacting to the video? Because it said it was cut up a certain way and there was no audio, as if the audio would have made it look acceptable for him to punch Jordan Poole. Look, the leak is a bad deal.
Yeah.
It's not the number one deal to me in my mind, but I get why the organization is ticked off, because there's a rat in the building. There's a rat in the building that kind of blew this thing up.
Well, to me, that's a separate issue for management and everything. And he could feel whatever he wants inside regarding that. To me, it felt like a cop-out for him to obsess about the video being leaked. And that, to me, was the bigger issue in terms of where he's at right now. Hopefully, down the line, he can look back and go, it coming out is actually a blessing in disguise because it's going to help me change who I am at my core and make me a better person, right? Like being obsessed about it. It's like I watch Cheaters a lot. You ever watch Cheaters?
Oh, yeah, of course.
How many people are, why could you bring the whole crew here? It's like, dude, you're cheating. Like you got caught cheating and you're mad that the entire camera crew is there. Like that's what it feels like to me in terms of metaphorically.
Wow.
I think he needs to take a hard look in the mirror and realize it's irrelevant how it got out.
For him, it's irrelevant how it got out. It is
for the organization.
It is for the organization. It is a thing.
100%.
You got to look to see how the hell did this get out. This was supposed to be kept in house. Who the hell blew this up? Now the whole world sees this thing's got over 30 million views.
Look. One of the things that I've heard people say who go to jail when they're addicted or when they have issues in their life, they go, at the time when I was getting arrested, I was mad at the police and this, that, and the other, and I shouldn't have been arrested. And then over time, I look back on that situation and I say, I was saved by God because that became my beginning step of rock bottom. So I'm hoping that he can look back at this video and be like, that was my rock bottom.
This is his rock bottom.
Months from now.
This is his rock bottom.
We say that in society, and how many people go to an even lower low?
Right.
I'm not saying that he's going to.
It's possible.
I pray that for him.
But as of right now, this is his professional rock bottom.
Yes.
This is
right now.
This is lower than being suspended in the finals.
Which is crazy.
This is lower than calling Katie a B word.
Yeah.
This is lower than going after Steve Kerr in the locker room at halftime of a regular season game in Oklahoma City back in 2016. This right here is rock bottom. Let's get to Chris in Dublin real quick before the break, listening via the Odyssey app. Chris, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for taking my call. Yeah. First off, good to hear that Niners win. That's always good to come to the work week with that.
It is a victory Monday, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, it's a victory week. I'm riding this thing all the way until next
Me
Sunday.
too.
There you go.
Yeah, with the Draymond stuff, it's I watched the interview. I watched the Steve Kerr, interview, and I didn't really see any remorse or empathy. I saw a guy up there who, as you guys just said, was more frustrated about the league. When a reporter asked him about anger management and therapy, he quite literally scoffed. He he laughed at that. And I'm like, man, Draymond, if you don't realize this is rock bottom, no one's going to be able to help you.
Yeah.
And, it's just...
You know what that is? That's deflection and denial. These are classic things that people do when they don't want to admit or take culpability or self-awareness of what they've done.
Matt in Greensboro, North Carolina, we have not forgotten about you. We'll get you on your Niners call. Pia Malik will get you two on the other side. More on this situation with the Golden State Warriors. What's next for the Warriors? What should they do next, listeners? How do you feel, Warrior fans? What should the Warriors do next? They go out there and handle their business. Jordan Poole looked really good yesterday. But what's next? We still haven't heard from JP. Maybe that's the final... Maybe that's what we need to do is hear from Jordan Poole to finally determine what the Warriors should do. I have no idea what to make of this situation, but Draymond's going to be away from the team as the Warriors went to play their preseason game number 3 against the Lakers yesterday. That's coming up. Brought to you by Save Mart and Lucky California.
At Lucky California, every day is full of fresh possibilities everywhere you look at a price that will always fit your budget. This week, red or green grapes are just $1.49 per pound. Shop all of the fantastic weekly deals at Lucky California. Come see what's fresh.
If you owe back taxes to the IRS, have unfiled returns, or are worried about an audit, the IRS is hiring 87,000 new agents to address these very issues. That means if you need to get your tax problems resolved, now is the time to get started. I'm tax attorney Robert Goldstein, and my firm specializes in helping individuals and small businesses resolve their tax problems. We work to stop IRS and state seizures. We may be able to settle your tax debt for pennies on the dollar with an offer in compromise. We prepare your past due returns, even if you have no records, and represent you before the IRS and state in an audit. At the law offices of Robert Goldstein, the consultation is always free, and we have offices located throughout the Bay Area. To schedule your free consultation, call 1-888-TAX-EXIT. That's 888-TAXEXIT. 888-TAX-EXIT. and make us your last stop.
Dr. Trudy Fleer here with the 5G Home Recovery Podcast. Let's discuss a very real existential threat to internet speed. It's a big one. Ready? T-Mobile Home Internet. It lags. Ugh. Now, what is lag? Lag is a delay in data being transmitted across the internet. For example, you're hitting that hot drop, the parachute cuts out, you've got an unsuspecting bot in your sights, and lag! You were actually eliminated 10 seconds ago. Nobody deserves that. So stop letting T-Mobile Home Internet ruin everything and switch to Xfinity. Learn more at xfinity.com/TMOFax.
Get an amazing value on Xfinity Internet with unlimited data included. Switch for $55 a month for 2 full years with no annual contract required and no equipment fees for 24 months. Go to xfinity.com/TMOFax, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 10/17/22. Restrictions apply. New fast internet and xFi Complete customers only. xFi Gateway required. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
O'Reilly! Count on the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your vehicle and budget. Get maximum cooling system performance for 10 years or 300,000 miles with Peak Long Life Universal Pre-Mixed Antifreeze and Coolant. Now just $3.99 after mail-in rebate. Limits apply. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake replacements, oil changes, washes, and so much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50. From carriage house to glass aluminum doors, R&S Doors has a full line of commercial and residential garage doors and gates to suit anyone's taste and budget. Visit rsdoors.com. R&S Doors. Look for the red truck.
When people have a craving to explore new and traditional Asian cuisines, they head to P.F. Chang's, where scratch-made dishes come from the 2,000-year-old tradition of wok cooking. P.F. Chang's wanted to explore new possibilities for their website. They turned to AmericanEagle.com. AmericanEagle.com re-architected P.F. Chang's website, integrating multiple third-party systems to create a unified digital experience. The results? Improved page speed and performance, personalized content based on users' location, intuitive online ordering, an increase in organic search visibility, and a 40% increase in new users. For scratch-made Asian cuisine, visit your local P.F. Chang's or go to pfchangs.com for website design, development, digital marketing, and hosting that produce efficiency, revenue, and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. P.F. Chang's and AmericanEagle.com. Another example of the best businesses in the world, turning to the best in the business for websites. Go to AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
95.7 The Game has your tickets to see The Who, October 24th at the SAP Center. For your shot to win, head to our contest page at 957thegame.com.
back to the Morning Roast with Vontae and Shasky.
Victory Monday. Niners beat the Panthers 37-15. However, the biggest story in sports is still looming large, especially here in the Bay Area after Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole at a practice on Wednesday. The video was released via TMZ Friday. Warriors are not happy about that. They're also not happy about Draymond Green punching a teammate. Multiple people are irate. We'll play some Looney sound in just a second. Jordan Poole, he still hasn't spoke, which is the elephant in the room. We all want to hear from JP. However, Steve Kerr last night said, Jordan Poole's going to be with us for a long, long time.
Made me feel good to hear that.
It did.
You know, B, you've heard me bring this up many, many times. I'm a big believer in, like, how do you react to adversity? Right? You know, the person who was born into wealth and went to all the best schools and all that, like that, they can have success, and that's incredible. The person who's born with nothing, who drags themselves and uplifts themselves out of poverty and has been fighting adversity their entire life, I prefer those stories. That's just me, right? That's how I operate. And I always look at, like, when times are going well, everybody can have a happy marriage. What's it like when you start to struggle? Right? What's it like? Right. Steph Curry could have easily bailed from this organization after a 15-win season.
Yep.
You know, didn't say boo-hoo. KD leaves. Everybody's out. You know, it's a nightmare. You know, I judge Steph that winning that championship based off the adversity of the years prior, it elevates Steph for me. How does Jordan Poole react moving forward to this situation?
Well, he looks unfazed, and you heard from Kevon Looney last night where he basically said Jordan is the same. He never gets too up, he never gets too down. The fact that he got punched at a practice and finished off that practice getting up extra shots says a lot about Jordan Poole.
I agree.
The next day, same thing. He's there early. He's in a weight room. Steve Kerr talked about it last night, that he's become one of the strongest players on the team, putting in the work in the weight room to get better on defense. That everybody's like, oh, well, you can replace Jordan Poole because he doesn't play defense, blah, blah, blah. Well, Jordan Poole's working on that. But, again, I pose this question to Willard and Dibbs. How many guys can play off the ball, just from a basketball sense for a second?
X's and O's.
How many guys can play off the ball in this league? We know Steph Curry can. We know Jordan Poole can.
Well, and
how many others, like Damian Lillard, can't play off the ball?
At all.
People in Portland will tell you he needs the ball in his hands. Look at Doncic. Right now, he can't play off the ball.
At all.
You know, James Harden. We know we can't play off the ball.
Such a great point.
You know, Kyrie Irving, can he play off the ball? I think if he wants to, but he doesn't.
Paul George can at times, but he's better with the ball in his hands. Hence, when Kawhi went away, he actually was better for that team because now he can be a facilitator.
No doubt.
Like, you're right. There's very, very few guys, and there's very few up-and-coming young players
who can play off the ball.
Who can play off the ball. If you look, the majority of them are ball dominant.
Yep.
So you're 100% right there. But B, how Jordan reacts to this? Does he sulk? Does he?
Well,
and I look at.
Last night's game, I know it was only preseason.
He looked fantastic.
It didn't look like he was sulking.
No, but, like, does he hold a grudge? Is it weird? Is it awkward? And I think he might not even know. Like, he might not even know how he's going to react because he probably hasn't been around him right now. But I do believe we're going to learn a lot about the maturity level of Jordan Poole this week.
No doubt.
And it's interesting because I think
he's going to speak.
He is. And I'm very interested to hear his perspective on the entire situation. And I think he can ingratiate himself not only to that locker room and the organization as a whole, but I think this fan base with how he reacts to this situation. Does he turn the other cheek? It takes a strong individual. I don't know if I could.
Yeah, I don't know. Tuesday, October 11th, is when the Warriors will host the Portland Trail Blazers. And speaking of the Blazers, got some very interesting Damian Lillard sound. Did you hear what Dame Dollar had to say over the weekend?
I didn't.
We'll get that going in a second. Here's Draymond Green. And this is a little long. This is about 1:35, so everybody stay patient. Matt, Smitty, P will get you. Just hang tight. Here's Draymond Green on his feelings towards Jordan Poole.
I love Jordan Poole. That's my guy. Like I said to Jordan, I will still ride for Jordan. I still advocate for Jordan. I will still do anything that I can to make Jordan's job easy, to make Jordan look good, to get him the things that he wants out of basketball that I can help from a teammate's perspective. That's that. My feelings towards Jordan does not change. It's the reason Jordan's locker is next to mine from day one. And that has changed a little bit. That dynamic has changed a little bit. It's on me to make that right and get it back, But as far as my feelings for Jordan goes, I'm the guy who supported Jordan when he was sent to the G League bubble when no one thought he had a chance. I'm the guy calling him, hey, man, you should be doing this, or good game. That's me. That don't change at all. My love is real. Love don't just go by the wayside. My love is there. My love ain't going nowhere. So I will continue to support him, help him where I can, lead him. And in saying that, like I said, I know leading comes with a responsibility that I dropped the ball on. And you have to rebuild the trust in that. But if I see Jordan doing something wrong, I'm going to help Jordan because that's the right thing to do. And if you don't care about Jordan, you don't help. You just watch him do it wrong. So my love for Jordan don't change one bit. Continue to move forward, continue to do all I can to help him. And as far as a personal relationship goes, we will figure that out as we go, as he's ready on his terms or not. That is solely up to Jordan. But as far as my love for Jordan, that don't change one bit.
All right, that was about a minute 35. But
the one thing I don't hear in there is that he needs to make some changes. Like, I don't think he understands that. Yeah. I'm not trying to psychoanalyze Draymond Green. I'm not pretending to be Dr. Phil. I'm really not. I'm just saying, I've been in relationships where I'm the one who did something wrong, and I could love you and have your back for years, but you also have to acknowledge you did something wrong, and you have to change your behavior. And you have to understand and acknowledge that, Jordan Poole's the one who's been scorned here, not you. And I just don't know, what his actions are going to be, or how he's going to be received. It just...
Well, he did say this.
Draymond, the vibes I get, B, and I'll let you finish. The vibes I get from Draymond is part denial, part diffusing and deflecting, and those are classic when you're an abuser of substance, or when you're in a situation and you're the one that needs to go through therapy. Those are the key things that most people suffer from.
Well, he did say early in the press conference that he was going to take a few days to work on himself, and to get help or whatnot. So it was there in that 40 minutes. I thought for the most part it was remorseful.
No, of course.
I
agree with you there.
You just said something last segment where a segment of the fan base is not going to be happy with anything. Some people want Draymond gone.
Yes.
Some people don't think Draymond can come back.
Yes.
Some people think Draymond did nothing wrong.
Yes.
Some people think this is overblown. Some people, they're going to be critical of it. So some people are going to hear what Draymond has to say and say, yeah, that's all BS. That's all BS. What I took away from Saturday, from listening to him, I saw a man up there, because I looked at his body language. I saw a guy up there who knows he's screwed up. I saw a guy who knows that, you know what, the Warriors can make a decision, and I'm going to have to live with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to live with it. I would like to be part of ring night, but I don't know if I'm going to be part of ring night because of what I did. So I do think there was some accountability there from Draymond Green. Now, there was some verbiage where you're like, well, the audio, if you would have heard the audio, you're like, whoa, just don't even say that.
That's the deflecting part, yes.
Don't even say that. But his love for Jordan Poole was there. Here's what Looney said. This was very interesting. Looney's been there since 2015.
And this was last night after the game.
Yep, last night. 2016, with Kevon Looney. Last night after the game, Looney's voice has become louder in that locker room, especially after a postseason performance to remember last year.
He's earned it.
He's earned it. His IQ's really good. He plays hard, played every game last year, and he's got the respect of the vets in Iguodala and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Here's Kevon Looney on Draymond Green after the game, asked by Anthony Slater.
It's been different. It's been complicated. There's something. We done had a lot of things happen here in my time, but a lot of things usually get to stay in house, and we get to handle it most of the time like that. So it's a little different with it being out in the public and all the outside commotion, weighing in on people's decision on what people think. So it's difficult, but I think we got the leadership and the right people to get through it. Whenever adversity hits, this team usually responds the right way, and this is the ultimate test for us, and I think we're going to be able to get through it. Jordan, he's going to work and do what he's going to do, and Draymond, he's a veteran. He's been the leader on this team for a reason, and he got some work to do to get that trust back from us, but I think he's willing to do it. So
he's got some work to do to get that trust back from us. And Looney said he hasn't spoken to Draymond Green yet. He wants to talk to him one-on-one. Got to remember, Kevon Looney's from Milwaukee. JP looks at Kevon Looney as a big bro from Milwaukee.
They're very tight, right?
They're very tight with that. So, that affected Looney in some way. And a lot of players, Marcus Thompson wrote a great article in The Athletic, Friday, basically saying that a lot of players saw that punch for the first time via the TMZ video. And a lot of players were disappointed on that basketball team after seeing that punch.
I want to get to that real quick. Looney doesn't talk often where he's saying something of this magnitude. and I always the people that talk the least, those are the ones I do like to hear from, because what few things they say I think are even more powerful. And I look at what Looney said there, like he has to work back to get his trust. That was powerful to me, like to hear that. Like clearly Kevon Looney felt upset. Now the video portion, this is interesting. If you watch on the video, it does look like everybody's looking at the ball, which is in the other direction of where the incident happened.
Right.
Whenever I've been in an altercation or seen an altercation, you and me will all be gossiping afterwards, right? And the brain does weird things where you think you see something you didn't. Maybe you missed the angle, wasn't as good, or whatever it is. Then when you see it back in video and you can replay it over and over and over from a particular angle, it does resonate more.
Yeah.
You see things that maybe you didn't see in real time. You see angles. You feel certain things. You can slow it down. So to hear that the players went back and they watched it, that doesn't surprise me at all, B. Does that surprise you?
No, absolutely not. And some people are like, well, the players on the court didn't do anything. Because Jordan Poole and Draymond probably talk trash all day, every day at practice. So it's probably just another day at the office for a lot of these guys. And so for it to come to that punch, nobody expects their teammates to punch their lights out, man.
No.
When you're getting into an altercation. You see it so many times in the NBA. How many times during an NBA game do we see other teams pushing each other and nobody's throwing blows? Nobody's throwing blows. Barkley always says, hey, man, these are all love taps. These guys are lovers, not fighters or whatnot. So nobody expected that on that team. So you got to credit all these dudes.
And I would say to the video portion of it, of guys not seeing it, the imagination, the mind plays tricks. Like when we first heard the report, B, there was an altercation, and what was it? Indirect blow. What was the exact phrase that they used?
I forget. The forcefully struck.
I thought it was struck.
Okay.
Struck.
So in my mind, again, this is my mind because it's so cloudy. I'm thinking there's a bunch of guys in between. Maybe Dre took like a swing over, like 3 or 4 guys. He kind of caught him on the side of the head or whatever. That looked like it was so clear when you see the video, and it wipes away all of the confusion and the inconsistency in your mind or whatever your imagination.
It looks bad.
And you just see it.
It looks bad.
And then you can watch it over and over and over and over again.
Before we get to the calls, because I want to get your thoughts on this. Actually, let's take a couple calls.
I thought Steve Kerr's reason was the most interesting.
I want you to hear from Dame Dollar in just a second, but let's get to some calls here. Let's get to P in Richmond, then we'll get to KC and Smitty. P, what's happening? He's listening on the radio. What's up, P?
What's up with y'all? I'm good. I'm trying to touch over Draymond situation.
Yep.
I think it's being blown out of proportion. I think this thing is getting dragged over too long. It's a big deal in some sorts of ways, but I think it's mostly a big deal because it's Draymond and everybody's trying to paint this thing out from him being a villain and everything, because people are saying, if you was raised this way, if you wasn't raised this way, when somebody put their hands on you, you do this or you do that. But like I said, nobody's talking about the whole fact that Poole put his hands on him first. Like I said, I know this is $1 billion company and this and that, but if it is, then why are we not talking about why would you even put this man? Poole could have stepped back. He could have been like, all right, this basketball, we trash talking.
Well, Draymond physically put his chest on him first. Can we acknowledge that?
Yes, we can. But look though, like you said, this is basketball. How many times do you see guys chest bumping in the basketball?
Well, chest bumping is a far cry from swinging on someone in the jaw. And I would argue this, let's take Draymond out of it. Quindary Weatherspoon hits Jordan Poole like this. You think he's still on this team?
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Let's get to Smitty in Lafayette listening on the radio. Smitty, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, I don't know anybody in any type of work that gets a freebie.
Yeah.
Nobody gets a free punch. That's just the bottom line, no matter what line of work you're in.
Agreed.
No doubt. No doubt. All right, KC and Marin listening on the Odyssey app. Then we'll get back to the Niners in a second. KC, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Gentlemen,
Hey, Casey.
good morning. I think Dre is a GOAT. I think he's a unicorn. That being said, I didn't think this was anything of significance, even seeing the video until Draymond spoke. It gave me a little bit of weird chills. It sounded like an abusive person and how they justified striking her.
Call us back, Casey. You're breaking up a little bit.
He was getting to the point that he thought it sounded, I'm not saying this is what I felt, but he thought it sounded like an abuser abusive deflection, I guess, essentially was the summation of his call.
I don't want to go that strong.
I think you can't throw that word around.
Yeah, I'm not going
flippantly,
there.
And I understand where he's going with that, but I'm not going to go that far.
I'm not going there. And this is something nasty that I saw. And why does it have to go there? I saw people tweeting at me saying, and like texting me, it's like, do you think Draymond has an abusive relationship inside his home? No.
Whoa.
Let's
that's
pump the brakes. That's not fair at all. Let's just debunk that. That's not fair to Hazel. That's not fair to his kids. That's not fair to Draymond Green. All right? Draymond Green's a good dude. I see the way he operates with his kids. All right? J-Day has some things that he's done in the past, but that's not fair. That's ridiculous. Let's pump the brakes on that. But I want to play something for you because it's an outside perspective of another player in the NBA.
Okay.
And that is Damian Lillard. We know he's tight with Draymond. We know they were in the Olympics together in Tokyo, Japan. And Dame Dollar, obviously Oakland's own, so always got some thoughts on something. Where here's what Damian Lillard had to say about the situation between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. Very interesting.
I find it interesting that people that are so public, meaning NBA players, every walk of their life, they go fill up their gas and somebody's taking their phone out to record them. Everybody's so livid about the video being released. And I'm like, everything that you guys do is going to be recorded and amplified. Now, I'm not exonerating the video being leaked. That is clearly an organizational issue. But to think in 2022 things aren't going to get out feels a little naive to me.
Now, we apologize to everybody on YouTube and Twitch who couldn't hear that audio. We're getting some tweets and texts about that. Sorry, but basically Damian Lillard said Jordan Poole needs to walk away from the situation, basically knowing that he needs to protect himself at all times, and Draymond needs to take away from the situation that, hey, I need to walk away and not punch a teammate. But it was very interesting. Protect yourself at all times. A lot of people think about that. Let's get to Wayne and then Alex, and then we'll get back to the Niners here as they beat the Carolina Panthers.
Win for the
big time win. And
huge.
So first place in the NFC West. Wayne and Hayward listening via the radio. What's up, Wayne? What's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey guys, good morning, Morning Rose guys. First time caller, long time listener. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Real quickly, the point I wanted to make: this is workplace violence. So what's the difference between what happened with Draymond, what he did, and the coach for the Boston Celtics, what he did? He got suspended for a whole year because it was a workplace violation. Shouldn't assault and battery be at least equal to that? That's just my question, guys.
See, that's where I think it's really tough for everyone to come down on I don't know what the appropriate adjudication is in this situation. I don't know.
Lawyers don't.
I mean, if this were another organization and not the Warriors, I still don't know what the punishment or if any should be. I really don't. And I think it's up to that locker room, not kangaroo court, because that's kind of something that we flippantly throw around. But it is up to them to kind of come to some amicable agreement. Not everyone's going to be on the same page, but you have to come up with something that satisfies everyone involved. And that's where I go back to Jordan Poole. Without hearing him, without knowing what his perspective is, how can any of us begin to know what's appropriate?
No doubt. Let's go to Alex in Livermore listening via the Odyssey app, and then we'll move back over to the 49ers here. Alex, what's happening? You're on the roast.
What's happening, fellas? Long-time listener. I've been listening for years to you guys.
Thank you.
Especially you, Bonte. Anyways, I just think this whole thing's been blown way out of proportion. First off, there was no quote-unquote sucker punch thrown. They were facing each other. he pushed off on the dude's chest, and he shouldn't have thrown at him, but it happened. It's being blown out of proportion like it's some kind of soap opera. This is basketball, man. This isn't touchy-feely. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just ridiculous. Let these dudes figure it out between themselves, and then let's move on. Let's get that chip. What are we talking about?
Well, what if they can't figure it out between the two of them? I think that's the big thing, and it feels like just listening to Steve Kerr and Kevon Looney, who are the two other people besides Draymond that we've heard talk, and Steph Curry, I don't know if those guys are ready to move on.
I don't know. I mean, how would you move on? That's what I want the callers and the roasters to think about. How would you move on after being punched? Put yourself in that position.
Or someone that you care about or work with.
Me personally, when somebody breaks my trust, I have a hard time moving on. And I have a hard time looking at that.
I think a lot of people do, B. I think a lot of people. You scorn me.
Physically, yeah, I'm done with you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way.
Done with you.
Yeah.
Done with you. I've lost many friends. Screw me over, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Just like that. I don't get over those things.
Mm-hmm.
They're always in the so. How can I sit here and just tell Jordan Poole, hey, man, get over the punch? It happens. It always happens. Even on the playground, if it happened, you're not going to play basketball with that person again, or you're going to try to destroy him every time you see him.
We all have egos, especially in this industry. Imagine what the egos are in an NBA locker room.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So I think it's real easy to say turn the other cheek. It's a lot harder to actually execute that on a daily, minute-by-minute basis.
I agree.
Especially when hyper-competitive egos are involved at the highest level of competitive sports.
Well said. Well said. Mike B, go across the table, punch Bonte. Let's see how easy it is to
That's
move
what I'm
on.
saying.
Yeah, we wouldn't move on. We wouldn't be doing the show no more. We'd be done. Shelf life on the Morning Roast would be over. Straight up. By the way, download the Odyssey app, 95.7 The Game, thousands of other stations, and millions of podcasts are free on the Odyssey app. Sports talk, music, news, and podcasts are all available completely free. You can catch every single Warriors game live on the app along with all the music news in the Bay Area needs. Follow your favorite teams, stations, radio shows, and podcasts now by downloading the free Odyssey app.
I know we want to get back into the 49ers, and we will. All right, I know it's a Victory Monday, and people don't want to feel negative, and Jimmy played great. The defense looks great. A little bit of injuries that we can get to in a second. To me, the most powerful things said over the weekend were the no comments by Steve Kerr.
Wow.
So I'd like to play that for those that maybe didn't
Do we
hear
have
it.
that? I don't know if we have that right now.
Okay.
We'll
they were
pull that
asking
up.
a question. I was listening to Steve Kerr.
Saturday. He basically was like, no comment. He was not talking about anything. About trusting, about what's going to happen here. He had nothing to say.
There was a sequence of questions that were asked to him directly about Draymond Green and the trust that he has in that locker room, where his trust factor is with Draymond Green, meaning Steve Kerr's. And, we've seen Steve Kerr pretty irate over politics stuff at a podium, Very few times have I seen him that dismissive and that angry and upset over basketball, over his team. And that, to me, was kind of like the most powerful things that I felt over the weekend. Now, that doesn't mean that Drake can't come back to the team. I don't know. That doesn't mean that Drake can't be an integral part of them winning, this month or this week or whatever. It felt like to me, like, damn. Felt like Steve Kerr had enough.
Well, that and leak. The fact that it got out. And they had to answer more questions because Thursday he sat up there at the presser and discussed what happened. But they also say, I've been around 32 years. I've seen many of fights, blah, blah, blah.
A lot of people have said that.
A lot of people said that.
Which
Saturday,
I'm sure there are.
Saturday, I think seeing it again, because he probably didn't see it live either. A lot of players didn't see it live. Maybe he didn't see it live. Maybe he didn't have a good vantage point. To see that video surface the way it did, it embarrassed Jordan Poole. And I think Kerr felt empathy for Jordan Poole, and he felt anger. Felt anger about the entire situation. But I think a powerful quote was last night when he said, Jordan Poole, he's someone we are going to rely on for many years to come.
That felt like, he's got Jordan's back fully. Not that it's an either or, but it felt like he's got Jordan's back fully, which is great to hear.
Right.
And B, that an extension is in the works,
Right.
and it feels like it's inevitable, which made me feel even better because we need Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole's he's just not a guy you could just replace.
How he had a sequence last night that was just so sick.
He's not a guy that you could just replace. The pick and roll, the pick and pop with James Wiseman, the two-man game. This guy gets to the cup, he gets to the free throw line, he creates for others. There's not many players who create for others in this league.
Bonte, you know how much I wanted to come in here, talk about Jimmy Garoppolo, 49er defense, and Patrick Baldwin Jr. being a complete revelation? Wiseman looking special? I wanted to talk about all of those things.
Yeah, nobody likes to talk about soap opera stuff. It's not even a soap opera. It's something that's happening in our backyard. And face it or not, Warrior fans, roasters, everybody out there, it's the biggest story in sports.
I know.
It's the biggest story in sports. Just doesn't happen like that. So
Stephen A. Smith hasn't even had a chance to react to it because he was off on Friday. If you don't think Stephen A. is going to tee off on this topic, you're crazy.
Well, let's get back to the Niners, and let's get to Matt in Greensboro, North Carolina. He's been on hold for over an hour. Let's get Matt on here. Give him all the time he needs because he was at the game watching the Niners kick the Panthers' ass. What's up, Matt?
Good morning, guys. I love your show.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was at the game. I've got to give it out to the faithful. They really showed up down there.
Nice.
The whole place was red. It was like it was SoFi Stadium. It was so red.
Nice. What'd you think of the 49er defense?
Man, they came up big. There wasn't a lot of pressure. It seemed I DVR'd the game and came home and watched it to get another perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't seem like early that there was as much pressure on Baker Mayfield, and I think it was basically they were just back there covering. And we got shut down corners. We've got shut down secondary. It's a great defensive team. It's a good effort. Unfortunately, the loudest that place was for the Panthers was when Matt Rule went for field goals. The place erupted in boos, and there were fire Matt Rule chants in the fourth quarter. It was really sad.
Yeah, how about him going for two? I still don't understand that. The 17-9, they score a touchdown, and then they go for two. What's the math behind that?
Yeah, no idea. Matt, are you going out to Atlanta to check out the Falcons game?
I do not like Atlanta. I've had bad luck down there sports team-wise, so I just I watch that on TV.
All right, there you go. Because what's the drive? What is it, like 3 hours from Greensboro?
No, it's more like 6 to 7 hours to Atlanta, where you get there, and then when you're an hour away, it takes another 3 hours to get into Atlanta. Atlanta is awful.
Yeah, we're now a geography show.
Yeah, there we go. Matt Greensboro, North Carolina. Go ahead, Matt.
At that. When you watch the broadcast, the upper deck at Bank of America looked like there were a lot of Panthers fans in the upper deck, but the chairs are all blue. So it was empty seats looking blue. It's sad because they're not the Rams and the Seahawks, so I don't hate the Panthers. They're a hometown team, but it's just sad.
Yeah.
They have no hope right now. It sounds like Matt Rule could be out quick. Matt, thanks for the phone
Baker
call. Thanks for
terrible.
waiting. Baker looks terrible, but how good is this Niners defense? And one thing I wanted to see in the second half was how would the Niners score points? Would the offense be able to score points and put a team away?
Yeah.
Now, up until that point, through the first 4 games, the Niners had scored 16 points offensively. Think about that. 3 against Chicago, 7 against Seattle, 3 against Denver, and then last week against the Rams where they only scored 3. So 16 points. How would they finish the game? And I thought they finished the game very well offensively, riding Jeff Wilson Jr., timely throws by Jimmy Garoppolo. And again, when you convert 12 of your last 24 third downs in the last 2 games like the Niners did, they were 5 of 12 against the LA Rams on Monday night, 7 of 12 last night. That's 50%, folks. When you could win the money downs and extend drives, take time off the clock, keep your defense on the field, give your defense rest, that's a recipe for success for this football team. So if Jimmy plays like he did yesterday, the Niners are playing deep into January.
Yeah, lost in the score. You look up and Jimmy was really efficient. I thought he was aggressive for Jimmy. On Jimmy, he's not going to be Josh Allen and throwing it 60 yards downfield, but throwing to the one-on-ones, even though there were free release blitzes, as he's getting crushed in the pocket, that's the Jimmy I want to see. I thought he was pretty decisive and got rid of the ball quickly. He found the open guy on third down, even if it was under the sticks like Jennings and Juszczyk, and gave those guys opportunities to make plays downfield. Quietly, this offensive line has looked really good.
Look, they're blowing holes open for Jeff Wilson Jr., 17 carries, 120 yards.
And then I look at the defense, and you talk about that secondary, the guy who just called in from Charlotte. I mean, their secondary, I counted 6 pass breakups. I could be wrong there. I can't remember 2 pass breakups by these DBs in the last 2 decades, and yet, it stings that Emmanuel Mosley's out. Charvarius Ward, I mean, he has been an unbelievable signing for this team.
3 years, $40 million, and it feels like he's underpaid.
That's a crazy sentence.
Do you know what I'm saying?
He's giving me what I thought Nate Clements could give me.
Right.
But, Nate wasn't on that good
Nasty
of a defense.
Nate.
Yeah.
Nasty Nate.
Remember that?
Is good. Oh, I do remember that. He got broke off.
What did he get, 5 for 75?
He got broke off.
I'm gonna have to look that
It was
up.
another
Just
tape.
for you.
Yeah. Look it up for me. Jimmy Garoppolo yesterday, again, third down throw to George Kittle on the first drive, setting the tone where they go right down the field to score 7. I thought that was very impressive for Jimmy Garoppolo. That's the recipe. That's the recipe as he looks to shed off the rust from not having training camp in OTAs. Look, Jimmy Garoppolo, no turnovers, not too many penalties. You had the fumble by George Kittle, but that's not on Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy plays like that, this team they'll be playing a lot of playoff games. That's for sure. If Jimmy plays like that.
So, March 2nd, 2007, 49er fans. 49ers rewarded Nate Clements, the top player in ESPN.com rankings of unrestricted free agents, with an 8-year, $80 million contract with $22 million in guarantees, highest defensive paid player in the league.
Yep.
8 for 80 feels like an absolute steal.
I mean,
by today's
number. Back then, it was like, whoa, $80 million for Clements.
Like, how are the Niners going to pay that?
He better be Dion.
Remember that?
Because they signed. You know who else they signed? That
Jonas
Jennings.
Who
They
was
signed
terrible.
Jonas Jennings.
Buffalo Bills.
Both of them were Bills, right?
Yeah,
Did Clements come from Buffalo?
Jennings played like 5 games for the Niners. He was terrible.
He was not good. He was not good at all. Not good at all.
You know who's playing really well right now as well, and you referenced this earlier, and we got to bring it up. The linebacking play for this team has been spectacular. You can give credit to the guys up front on the D-line opening it up, but it feels like the speed and the decisiveness and the wrapping up. I mean, there was a hit yesterday by Dre Greenlaw. I just assumed it was going to be a personal foul.
Yeah.
I think he hit DJ Moore. He timed it perfectly.
No doubt.
I mean, that was a boom, boom layout.
No doubt. I mean, look, Jeff Wilson Jr. is playing well. The linebackers are playing well. Jeff Wilson Jr. looks like he has juice, 17 carries, 120 yards,
great.
And a touchdown in his defense. Last week we were talking about this defense. Early on, they're going to have to carry the offense. And I thought at times yesterday they carried the offense and carried the football team. If this defense wants to be great, they have to turn you over and score.
Yeah.
And for back-to-back weeks, you get the Hufanga pick 6. Yesterday, right before halftime with the game. Look, it shouldn't have been a 10-3 game. I'm not going to nitpick. Special teams got to be better. You get the field goal blocked. That's unacceptable.
How does that happen?
But Emmanuel Mosley with the pick 6,
Yes.
bringing it back 41
Yes.
yards with his family in town, that was pretty cool. So when you want to become a great defense, like the Niners are trying to, they lead the league in sacks with 21. Drake Jackson popped late in that game. You turn the ball over and you go score. That's what the Ravens did back in 01. That's what the 85 Bears did. That's what the 02 Bucks did. You think about all the great defenses in NFL history. They turned you over, and they turned you over and scored. And so far this season, the Niners defense has been scoring, especially the last 2 weeks. So I love that development with this defense.
And I'm just looking at the NFC West, mostly being out, it feels like for the year, that's going to be that's a big loss.
That's a huge
It's
loss.
a big loss.
You can't sugarcoat
But you got to
that.
get Bosa back, right? You got, whether it's 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe you give him the next 2 off and the bye week, that would give him 3 weeks, and maybe him and Trent are returning simultaneously on both sides of the ball. He's got to be healthy for this team to make any impact in the playoffs. Like,
No doubt.
they've got to be healthy, absolutely. I just love that the playmakers all touched the ball yesterday.
Yeah, the playmakers touched the ball. A lot of targets for Debo. 9 targets, only 2 catches. I don't like the efficiency there.
J.C. Horn was
Getting
on
the
him.
ball. It was on him. I want to see Ayuk a little more involved. Again, 3 catches, 58 yards. You saw Jawan Jennings break some tackles, make some plays. George Kittle being force-fed. This offense all of a sudden is looking a little more diverse. Again, I could use one more playmaker. I know they tried to throw the ball deep to Danny Gray. Wasn't a pretty deep ball.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I'd like to see them throw him the ball underneath to set up the deep ball.
Right.
Like, if we're nitpicking, right? Like, if we're nitpicking. But look, at least Jimmy's ripping it downfield.
He is.
I mean, he made the throw to Kittle early on in the game, was a really nice throw near the sideline. Give his guy a chance to make a play. And then I was more impressed with the Tevin Coleman play.
Right.
Free blitzer. He's got the guy going to blast him, and he throws it all the way up and over. Okay, Coleman doesn't make the catch. No loss. You don't take a sack. But he does make the play near the sidelines. And it's like, yes, Jimmy, throw it downfield.
Listen, Jimmy, and people are saying, well, the playmakers made plays. It wasn't Jimmy.
Well, they drop balls, too.
Part of being a great quarterback, or part of being a quarterback in the NFL, I'm not going to say great. Part of being a good quarterback in the NFL is giving your playmakers a chance to make plays.
And
I was watching
identifying the matchups.
I was seeing Brady and Mike Evans yesterday. Mike Evans getting double. Brady laid it out there anyway,
How
saying,
sick was
go
that
get
catch?
that bat. Joe Burrow, Sunday Night Football, Jamar Chase, Marlon Humphreys all over him.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow underthrow. Hey, I'm going to give my playmaker a chance to make a play. That's all we can ask for Jimmy. And yesterday, throughout the game, I don't care how bad Carolina offense is, their defense is legit.
Yeah.
Carolina's got a defense.
Brian Burns is a stud.
I told you, he's a stud.
Just watch Brian Burns. He's a stud.
See how quick he gets off the football.
I mean,
dude,
he's a stud.
Unbelievable.
He's a stud.
Give your playmakers a chance to make plays. Jimmy did that yesterday, and you walk out with a 37-15 win. 37-15.
Was it Corey Littleton was on Carolina? I know he's bounced around. He's solid.
Yeah.
They've got a couple solid pieces, but my overall takeaway is that the Niners business-like win. The injuries are going to loom over them.
Right.
If Jimmy can continue to build off how he's played the last couple of weeks,
right,
Niners are in a great spot.
For the fourth time.
Great spot.
And they're trying to sweep the East Coast road trip again. You saw the little graphic of all the miles they travel and how they stay at the Greenbrier or whatnot. So, look, a very business-like win for this team. We'll see how they get over the injuries. Hopefully, some of these guys can start to come back because the list is getting longer and longer and longer when it comes to injuries. Speaking of injuries, Craig Mack, you know what to do.
It's time for the Injury Report. It really hurts. Brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
As we just mentioned, the 49ers have lost a few more players to injury. Defensive end Nick Bosa had to leave the game early, did not play in the second half due to a groin strain. Robbie Gould had to exit with a bruised knee, and the worst injury of them all, torn ACL for Emmanuel Moseley. Head coach Kyle Shanahan said after the win that he fears that Moseley had torn his ACL. He will undergo an MRI today to confirm the injury, but Shanahan was not optimistic about his outlook. Moseley was seen after the game wearing a knee brace and getting around on crutches. I just hope it's a bruise. I hope the MRI comes back and say, nope, his ACL is intact. He's going to be back in December. Oh, man,
I'll take any kind of sprain.
Dude, he was playing so well. Mooney Ward and Emmanuel Moseley, one of the best corner tandems in all of football.
Both coming up and not only making plays in the deep down the field. In the run game, they were stuffing.
Oh, they hit. Moseley hit. So, oh man, what an unfortunate news there. Unfortunate break for Emmanuel Moseley late in the game, tearing his ACL. Injury report brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. 888-957-9570, Comcast business text line and a hotline. How did Shanahan do yesterday? We haven't talked about Kyle Shanahan. How did he call the game? And what about DeMeco Ryans on the sideline? Can't let him leave the building. Guy looks like a head coach in waiting. He's having a lot of fun. Plus, if you want to chime in on the Go to St. Warriors on what they should do about Draymond Green, the lines are open. User's choice, right, Shasky? User's choice. Warriors, Niners, a lot to talk about here on the Roast on 95.7 The Game.
The 49ers defense is nasty.
And he tosses it to the other team, Moseley. Down the sideline, Moseley cuts it inside. All the way. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Our fans are awesome everywhere we go. Our fans travel as good as any team I've been on.
Hufanga. It's a sack for the San Francisco D.
This is the Bay Area's sports station, 95.7 The Game.
If you're a professional builder or designer, here's some good news from Golden State Lumber. Their relationships with Capital Lumber, Cal Cascade, Humboldt Sawmill, and other suppliers have led to an increase in lumber inventory. Additionally, Golden State's state-of-the-art Stockton location is fully equipped with a wall panel production facility. Golden State can help save you space, labor, and time with these prefabricated walls, and you can get them delivered directly to the job site. Golden State strives to deliver most of the materials the very next day, and in some cases, the same day. And remember, the best tool you can use on the job site is the Golden State app, which provides greater access to the industry-leading services team. You'll have access to resources like important zoning regulations, permitting details, and hundreds of user guides all at your fingertips. The Golden State app is available at goldenstatelumber.com, Google Play, and the App Store. Supplying the Bay Area since 1954. Golden State, when you succeed, we succeed.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com/sports, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com/sports. That's getrefunds.com/sports. If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Fall Savings Event.
Hey, I'm checking off my fall to-do list. I've got apple picking done. Now I need a cozy rug for cider tasting night.
Well, we've got offers on rugs, lighting, and more. And as an IKEA family member, you'll save $20 when you spend $200 or more pre-tax.
Great. Now I actually have to make cider.
Visit us in-store or at IKEA-USA.com/fall savings event to get ready and save. Offer valid 10/7 to 10/10 in the U.S. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See store and IKEA-USA.com/fall savings event for complete terms and restrictions.
Golfers, now at the Golf Mart, it's time to hit faster, longer, and straighter with Titleist. The new TSR drivers are designed to maximize distance and elevate your performance. Titleist TSR driver, pushing for perfection every day. Come into the Golf Mart for the new Titleist TSR drivers and get custom fit for free today. Can't make it in store? Visit us online at worldwidegolfshops.com. The Golf Mart, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee and family owned and operated since 1984.
Hit big with the Major League Baseball postseason with the BetQL network. Here's Chelsea Messenger from the Daily Tip.
It's the best time of the year in Major League Baseball. That's right, the postseason. Betting on postseason baseball can be a little tricky, but there's a couple things I usually rely on. Teams with top-line aces and also postseason experience.
Download the free BetQL app right now and get instant access to the industry's most advanced betting tools. Win big this MLB postseason with BetQL.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. A bottle of Gum Out Fuel Injector Cleaner can clean your entire system and help your engine get more MPGs. Right now, you can get 2 bottles for only $7. A great deal to help you go a good deal farther. Find Gum Out Fuel Injector Cleaner and everything you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Today's Throwback Thought is brought to you by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Let's take some callers. Tony from Houston. Any throwbacks for us?
Yeah, hi. I remember when you could get a whole meal for just $6. But now?
You still can with KFC's 2-piece drum and thigh combo. Crispy chicken, mashed potatoes, a biscuit, and a drink for just $6.
Is this an ad?
Thanks, Tony. Order KFC's 2-piece drum and thigh combo on the KFC app for just $6. That's finger licking good. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Tax extra.
Imagine a world with endless possibilities. I'm talking endless saving and endless hot showers. Yeah, you heard me right. Endless hot showers. With Navien, that dream is now a reality. Navien tankless water heaters deliver a continuous flow of hot water for as long as you need it. No waiting for a tank to reheat more water, wasting time and energy. The compact design saves you space and money in comparison to traditional tank water heaters. It's time to make the switch and make your hot water dreams come true. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMC FM and HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast. Featuring
Fillmore's finest, Quante Hill. The pride of the Excelsior
here. Joe Butcher Boy Shasky. Take him out! You listening to 95.7 The Game, the morning roast.
What up, Duke? What up, Duke? Duke on the intro. Good morning, everybody out there. Oh, baby. A Victory Monday. It's a weird Victory Monday because of what's going on with the Golden State Warriors. But the Niners do beat the Panthers 37-15. We'll take your calls on that. 888-957-9570. Were you impressed? Was it just, were they supposed to win that game? Obviously, they were supposed to win that game. But how are you feeling about that? They're 3-2 and in sole possession of first place in the NFC West. And they have one of the best defenses in the league. Also, we had the Draymond Green, Jordan Poole situation. Warriors played yesterday against the LA Lakers in a preseason game. Preseason game number 3. They'll hit the court again tomorrow against the Portland Trail Blazers at 7 p.m. And the elephant in the room is, will Jordan Poole speak? When will he speak? Well, he had a damn good game. And his actions spoke louder than anything he could say about the situation, I believe, because the third quarter, he was in his bag. Team high 25 points, 6 assists.
He looks sick.
The two-man game between him and Wiseman, the communication. Heard him a couple times. Hey, James, that's what you need to do here, coaching on the floor. By the way, Wiseman looked good.
Well, you know what? One thing, just quick little aside as we talk drama and 49er victories. Wiseman and Kuminga, the thing that you got to love about them, the one area that the Warriors haven't had for like 2 years now, athleticism near the rim.
Yep.
The two of them get the ball anywhere around the cup, and they are elevating to jam in someone's face and end them on the court. And I just love that about him. And then just seeing James Wiseman fighting for offensive rebounds and getting a lot of fouls because the other team can't box him out. Like that's part of the beauty of having Rudy Gobert on your team is that I think a lot of teams accumulate bad fouls trying to simply box him out.
Yep. You know, just talking to the break, to the boss man, Matt Nahigan, and we've been talking off air. Hell, we talked over the weekend, and the Bay Area sports fan right now. The A's are done. The Giants are done. We did watch MLB playoffs. How about the Padres ousting the New York Mets? That was pretty cool.
Why did I take solace in the Mets losing? I know. I'll let you continue.
I just don't care about New York City.
I hate the Mets. Somewhere Greeny lost all of his wings.
Yeah. The Mets lost.
I hate the Mets.
The Cardinals lost. How about the Philadelphia Phillies? How about that?
How about Bryce Harper?
Looks good. Been good in orange and black. Get Cleveland beating Tampa Bay, 15 innings, 1-0.
That was fun.
The Mariners coming back from 6-0 against the Blue Jays, Craig Max Mariners. Now, you're about to get smoked by Dusty's boys, the Houston Astros, but it is what it is. Good story for Seattle. The Bay Area sports fan right now, are they excited over the win against the Carolina Panthers? Or is the Bay Area sports fan still stuck on this Draymond Green situation? Because we heard from Draymond Green on Saturday. He's not with the team.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole is. We heard Looney say, hey, Draymond has to earn his trust. He has to earn our trust back. When you have Looney saying he has to earn our trust back. Steve Kerr saying, yeah, he has to earn our trust back. It feels like the Bay Area sports fan right now, yeah, we want to celebrate the Niners win. But on the other side, you have this big story looming to where we don't know what's going to happen with Draymond. We have no idea if Poole's going to sign an extension. We have no idea if Draymond's going to be there for ring night. Yeah. There's just this dark cloud looming right now over the Golden State Warriors that is on the top of mind for Bay Area sports fans.
It's a weird, conflicting sports Monday. Because the other part of that be that you haven't even acknowledged, I've never felt better about the young players for the Warriors.
I know.
Like, I'm looking at the roster that they've put together with DiVincenzo and JaMychal Green and Patrick Baldwin Jr. and Wiseman and Kuminga and Moody, and I'm like, damn, well, they're loaded.
This is a great tweet from 650 Comcast Business Text Line. Have we had a normal victory Monday yet? Every game has had a major injury happen, and you can't keep that up.
What was the major injury of the Monday night game?
Well, didn't Al Shire get hurt in that game?
Okay. Yeah, that's true. No, you're right. I was just,
and then we had a victory Tuesday, not a Monday.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, so we only had
the Seattle game. Yeah. So the Seattle game, you get Trey Lance being hurt.
But I think all can be true. Like right now, I've got my mind a little bit on Draymond Green and what is Jordan Poole gonna say? Where's he at on this? And then the other side of it is like, damn, look at my Niners.
Well, the Niners,
because the Niners look like the best team in the NFC West today. Things can change as we move forward, but today I wake up even with all the injuries and I say, they're not losing right now. They're not losing to those teams.
The only drama left in the NFC West is the Niners injuries and the return of DeAndre Hopkins for Arizona. Because the Rams, to me, I know I said last year they were shot, This team is
Can
different.
you just don't do that?
I wasn't going to do that, but they scored 10 points yesterday. Their offensive line can't block anybody, and their special teams stink.
The 7 of those points was like all Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. Well, the desperation I see in the Rams, they were going for fake punts in the second quarter.
Did you see that, Johnny Hecker?
It wasn't even Johnny Decker. It was a new guy.
Oh, I thought it was Hecker.
Quinn. No, Decker's gone. Hecker's
whatever.
gone.
He threw it to the gun guy
Right.
or whatever they called the safety net dude. I couldn't believe that play.
Caton guy who yells at Caton's out on the punt team.
Yeah. There you go. I was trying to think what his name is.
Green.
I don't even know what his position is.
So, who's the punter for the Rams? Now I got to look this up. But the Rams, they look like a mess. Seattle, a lot of offense. A lot of offense with Gino. Gino looks good. He's throwing the ball around. But defensively, they can't stop anybody. Their punter name is Riley Dixon. Riley Dixon.
We saved the show.
Yeah, well, not Hecker.
I saw a Hecker jersey in the tailgate parking lot.
So anyway, how are we feeling about the Niners? How are we feeling about the Golden State Warriors?
How are you feeling about the Niners?
I feel really good. The Mosley injury stinks.
Yeah.
Because his defense was coming together, and I felt so good about the secondary. He had 2 lockdown corners. Now I have to worry about Jason Verrett and his injury history. And then after that is Diamador Lenore, who's been playing really good in the slot. But now you put him outside. Now you're guarding big boys.
I know.
Right? Now you're guarding DKs or Tyler Lockett.
Maybe Womack can slide inside.
Maybe. Maybe it's Ambry Thomas. Maybe it's Dante Johnson.
Yeah, maybe. It might be Dante Johnson. I was going to take it this way. I actually feel the best I felt about Jimmy Garoppolo in a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like Jimmy's trending in the right direction.
Well, Jimmy played.
He might have a bad game coming forward. He probably will. I mean, every quarterback has a couple of good ones and maybe sprinkle in some bad ones. Even the great guys. Like Aaron Rodgers looks terrible right now.
Yeah.
He looks terrible.
Our boy King Shannon. What up, King Shannon? Nah, Bonte, the Rams look worse than what you said last year. Firepower ain't the same. And by the way, breaking news in Carolina. Breaking news.
Matt Rule gone.
Fired.
Is he?
Gone.
That's
Just like
official?
that. That's official. Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, gone. Just like that. 11-27 during his 3 seasons in Carolina. He leaves with 4 years left on a 7-year contract. So
he had a 7-year deal?
7-year deal.
Get me his agent right now so I can negotiate with Naheem.
Well, guess what?
Oh, my God. A 7-year deal?
Guess what, though?
He looked clueless on the sideline.
He'll be back in college football.
And he'll probably be good.
He'll get a Power 5 job.
Yeah, okay.
Somewhere.
College is college. This
college
is the NFL.
is college. Yeah, he's done.
He went Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. Get out of here.
Had no choice. They couldn't get Jimmy. Had no choice.
Well,
had no choice.
You know what? Jimmy, to his credit, probably looked around and was like, I don't want to play on a team like Carolina. I'm just using them as an example because look at the team he's on now with the play calling. It feels like him and Kyle are in a good spot. He's got playmakers galore. Yes, there's some injuries and stuff. Great defense, giving him great field position.
His decision making yesterday was just. I see
it was
why
the best he's played in a long time.
I mean, no, but Matt Rule. I'm looking at Matt Rule and his decision making.
Well, he sucks.
It was just awful. So Steve Wilkes will take over the Carolina job.
Well, it was 4th and 1 early in that game, and I know why you wouldn't go for it because you're trying to keep the game close. But this is what I said whenever it was like Chip Kelly or Tom Sula. If I'm coaching a team and I know I'm on the way out the door, all right, dude, what do you have to lose? Go for it, man. It's the same. Shanahan does this too. It drives me nuts. This is the one area Shanahan is going to give me gray hairs on just this one. It gets to about the 45 to the 38. They cross fit midfield, and they're somewhere in that zone, and it's 4th and short. It could be 4th and 3, 4th and 2, 4th and 1, and he does this. I hate this. Let's go to the line, and let's hut. Let's 15 guys are going to move, and then what do they always do? They take a penalty, and then they punt it back. Now, I know you got an elite defense, but come on, just once. Can you be aggressive?
Aggressive. Didn't have to do that yesterday.
No.
Didn't have to do that yesterday because Carolina's offense was that bad.
But doesn't it feel like that's their Bermuda Triangle zone?
What? Yeah, but today's not a day to nitpick.
No, I know. I'm just saying overall body of work.
It's a 37-15 win on the road. On the road against a tough defense. Get all those Niner fans out there. You dropped 37, probably should have dropped 50. That's how dominant this win was for the 49ers. Jimmy looked good. He's training up. Kittle looked good. Trending up. Jeff Wilson Jr. looked damn good.
Looked great.
Trending up.
Looked great.
Debo, 2 catches, whatever. I can live with that.
Jennings looked great.
Threw up 37 points and Debo did nothing yesterday. Okay? Did nothing. 37 points. So today's not a day to nitpick. The defense looks good. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the injuries. That's a concern, no doubt about it. But going to Atlanta with a chance to be 4-2 after 6, that's big time. Let's go to Dave in Fresno. Dave, what's happening? You're on the roast. What's going on? Oh, wait.
Good morning,
There
guys.
we go. There we go, Dave. I got you.
Good morning.
What's up?
Good morning. Yes, it is Victory Monday. Now, I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad they won. Defense looked good. No nitpicking. You know, usually when I call, I'm always Mr. Negative, but all I'm going to say is big picture. Big picture. We're looking at big picture, playoff, Super Bowl. Obviously, the offense has to be a little more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, he's always going to be the key. He needs to be a little more consistent. He did play better yesterday, but honestly, yesterday, how he played last week, last month, pretty much been the same. It's usually you get the ball out quick.
Oh, man, Dave hung up on us. Let's go to Rolando in Napa. Rolando, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Dude, we're on fire.
All right.
We're like Paul Hackett right now calling plays for Russell Wilson.
Nathaniel Hackett. CJ in American Canyon. Yeah, that's his dad. CJ, let's see if CJ's there. Go once, go twice. CJ, you there?
I'm there, Bob.
American Canyon.
Hey,
American Canyon
1
has
for 3.
reception. There we go.
We'd be a Hall of Famer in baseball.
What's up, guys? Victory Monday, indeed. I'm going to hold on to this dub all week long. I think that with the injuries that piled up yesterday, I'm thankful we got the Falcons coming up. I like what you guys said about resting Bosa maybe for the next few weeks. I believe it's his groin. And that's always a touch injury. I saw that on the first play yesterday. I could be wrong. That Jimmy Ward went out. With
one play.
Hand.
Yeah, he broke his hand.
So
we don't know if he can play.
That's really disappointing. Yeah, he's the leader on the team. Mosley is up and coming, one of the best up and coming backs in this league. Really contributed to the defense. I think moving forward, it's going to be tough, and you guys are going to have to step up, like Shanahan said after the game yesterday. But I think we can do it as long as Jimmy does what he did yesterday, keeps moving forward, and doesn't do what he did against the Broncos. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, they're going to need, obviously, there's going to be stiffer opponents, and they're going to need their defense to find a way to overcome all of these injuries. But if Jimmy plays that way and he gets the ball out and he doesn't take bad sacks, like that's the Jimmy that we wanted. This is the Jimmy when he's rolling. That's what you're going to get. Great run game, him spreading the ball around. I loved it.
It's a week-to-week league. Injuries can derail everything.
For sure.
But let's just say, hypothetically, they get Trent Williams back, Elijah Mitchell back, Al-Shaair back, you get Robbie Gould back, you get Nick Bosa back.
They're the favorites in the NFC.
I'm looking at the schedule here. Kansas City, tough game. Chargers, tough game, but beatable.
I think we could take them.
Yeah, no Joey Bosa for the next month and a half.
Yeah.
All right, they gave up 20. Cleveland should have won the football game. Well, we always say that about Cleveland. New Orleans.
It's so true.
New Orleans.
New Orleans does not scare anyone.
All right. Miami.
Although Taysom Hill.
Miami now?
They look totally different. And Tyreek Hill's in a walking boot.
And Teddy Bridgewater just had a concussion.
Yeah,
so
he was
Miami,
out
all of a
after
sudden,
one
that
play.
doesn't look so daunting,
No.
right? Because they don't have a quarterback to get playmakers the ball, although most are starting to run hard.
I do love Mostert.
Tampa Bay? It's a flawed Tampa Bay Buccaneers team.
How'd they let the Falcons back into that one?
Well, they called the damn roughing the passer penalty on Grady Jarrett.
I'm talking about leading up to that. They were up big.
Their offense is struggling.
It is.
And
it's Mike Evans.
So it's Mike Evans or bust. Their running game's not consistent. I don't believe they can run the ball against the 49ers. And Brady can be hit. Now, that roughing the passer penalty, one of the worst I've ever seen. That was terrible.
It was a tackle.
Did Arthur Smith do anything to get fined yesterday? That's a game you take a fine. Am I
the only one that saw Brady kick his leg up too as he was getting up?
Dude,
the whole thing was very suspect from Brady.
It was suspect on the referees for giving him that call.
No, it was a terrible call.
That was a terrible
There's
call.
no defending that.
All right? So then you get Seattle, Washington, Vegas, and there. All I'm saying is the schedule stacks up very, very well for the 49ers. This could be a double-digit win season if they don't beat themselves. Again, 12 of 24 on third down the last 2 weeks. Money downs. You're 50% on money downs the last 2 weeks. What does that mean? That means Jimmy's making throws, and he's getting the ball to the playmakers to make plays happen on third down to extend drives. That's all we want. No turnovers. I'm not even going to count the no throws because everybody throws no throws.
Yeah.
Everybody around the league throws no throws. That's a big-time win. Big-time win for the 49ers. Let's go back out to the calls.
And every playmaker's feeling good this morning.
Feeling very good.
How about that Ayuk 2-point conversion catch in traffic?
I love that, even though it didn't count.
Oh, they
called holding. Yeah, they called holding.
Right.
River called holding. Right. Anyway, I don't know why Carolina wore white, by the way.
Well, I guess it was hot.
Wear your all black. It's 4 o'clock out there in Charlotte.
Well,
come on.
I thought it was a pretty cool look. I thought the jerseys look good. I'm more mad at the turf. Like, what are we doing? Get grass out here.
Yeah, grass should be in every single stadium. Let's go to Rolando back in Napa. Rolando, what's up, man? You're on the roast. You're on a Victory Monday.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm a big fan of your show, guys. Calling from Napa, and I want to talk about my big Niners win. And now that you guys broke the news that Matt Rule was just fired, John Lynch, get on the phone. I really want Christian McCaffrey.
Thank you.
So
Thank
sad
you.
right now. And this is the move that's going to take us over. And Matt Rule, be gone. And next up, guys, mark my words, we're gonna stomp on Cliff Kingsbury. He's the next one to go this year.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that
well,
too.
The McCaffrey thing, it's so obvious. He's a star. Like, just an absolute star. I know, running backs. You don't trade for running backs. You don't pay running backs. That guy ain't a running back. That dude is Wes Welker meets Marshall Faulk meets any running. Like, he is a stud. You can line him up at receiver in the slot. You can play him out of the backfield. Him and Debo in the backfield. Him and Jeff Wilson Jr. in the backfield. That's the kind of guy who takes your offense to the next level.
And he's getting hit so much in Carolina because they don't have playmakers around him. Robbie Anderson just ain't that dude.
No, DJ Moore isn't either.
He's not that dude. They don't have a tight end.
No.
You put CMC in an offense with Ayuk, Kittle, Debo, and you get him in a passing game alongside Juszczyk and Jeff Wilson Jr., now you're cooking with hot grease.
And I would trade future draft picks to get him because he's that good.
Right away. I do it right now.
That's a Rams-like move you make in the middle of the season. Because right now everybody's vulnerable. So right now, if I'm the Niners, I'm adding to what I've got, not sitting back.
It's something we talked about last week with the 49ers. We'll get right back out to the calls.
God, I would love Christian
We'll get right back out to the calls.
He would be so sick.
We'll get right back out to the calls. You like that, huh? You like that.
Did you see the way he was running? They did a 3rd and 6 gun run to him, and he just ran right through Greenlaw and Warner. And I'm like, no one does that.
We had the conversation last week. What would it take to trade for him? We had the conversation last week.
I'm giving up multiple second-rounders for him.
Listen, I do it all day. I do it all day because this is
players.
a year. This is a year, and I told you this, Shasky. This is the year of the NFC. The Rams got their Super Bowl.
Yes.
They got their Lombardi. The Niners have been so close to getting that Lombardi. I feel like this is the season. If we're going to go all in at the deadline, with all the injuries that's piling up, this is the season to go all in. I love the team now. I think they could play deep into January with the team as is, with Jimmy trending up and Jimmy looking good. But if you could just add another weapon or two, oh my gosh,
but
this thing is attainable, man.
Well, that's one of the things you want to see Debo play a little more wide receiver.
Right.
If you get somebody like CMC out there, think of the formation diversity you can do.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
you imagine a 3-by-1 formation with Debo, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, and then Ayuk on the other side.
I'm sitting there watching him, and you know what I'm thinking to myself? The NFL needs him out of there. He would be one of the most marketable stars in the NFL if he played on a premier team, wouldn't he?
Yep. I love McCaffrey. We had the conversation last week leading up to the game saying, is there any way you could pry Christian McCaffrey from the Carolina Panthers? Because to me now, the first place 49ers, because they're first place in the NFC West. They're about to take this division over, and they're about to roll.
And they feel 2 or 3 games up on everyone. It feels that way.
I'm very confident that the Rams are going to be mediocre this year. Very confident.
It's a matter of time before Stafford's arm bows out.
Very confident the Niners. Arizona's a mess.
Yes.
They get started late. They start slow.
I'm still fearing them.
Well,
I know.
because DeAndre Hopkins, we haven't seen it with Hopkins. And Hopkins and Hollywood Brown is a nasty combination.
What was Kyler doing at the end of that game?
Who knows? Kyler's always doing something.
Slid too early from the first and then had to spike the ball. Sorry. Yeah, it is why you have to do your homework.
What was that?
It was a homework shot at Kyler.
I don't like that. That's not funny.
It's funny. It is funny.
We don't do that to Jimmy. We do that to Kyler.
Yeah, but Jimmy's not sliding prematurely and then having to spike the ball on 3rd down.
I was mad about
forcing
Jimmy
your team to kick
people.
a field goal on 4th.
I was about to get to what I was about to get to was Kyler's suit going into the game.
Oh my God! Did you see that?
Kyler's something else, man. But
it was like bell bottoms.
But DeAndre Hopkins is the one guy who bell bottoms are in now. Apparently, they're in. They've been in for a few years.
I'm going to let you know this right now.
Yeah, well, you got come on, Shasky.
I'm out on me wearing bell bottoms at any point moving forward.
I didn't say I wore bell bottoms.
If that's where fashion's going,
I didn't say I wore bell bottoms.
In the words of Matt
women, I bet you Robin knows. She knows the fashion
women
trends.
can wear bell bottoms.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Bell bottoms
I'm talking about me, Joe Shasky.
Hey, man,
I'm out.
You see these NBA players? They've been wearing bell bottoms like tough.
Hey,
bell
Robin.
bottoms are back. Robin, what's up?
Hey, you guys, I just had a visual of Shasky and bell bottoms. Do they call you Shasky on the dude on Scooby-Doo?
Yeah,
is that why?
That would actually, that's a good call. That's
Shasky?
a good call there, Robin. That's not bad.
Shasky.
My dad used to have really long hair, and he would wear the bell bottoms, but that was in the 70s.
You would look just like him if you had him. I would crack up. Oh my God! I'm gonna double check here, you guys. First of all, real quick, because I'm on Skyline Boulevard and I got to get to work in like 8 minutes. The deal is the two guys in the offensive line play. Banks and Moore.
Yeah.
Were they not getting off? Or is it because, just tell me, do you think they have a potential to do that against like an elite? Just because of Carolina, because they were blocking.
I thought they played really well, Robin. Yeah.
They were, so I wanted to hear more from you guys on that. And then the last thing I want to say, guys, because I might lose you, I got to get this in there. Draymond Green is a wankster. You know what a wankster is? 50 Cent told you who a wankster is. He knows who to bully. He knows who not to mess with. He didn't mess with Tristan Thompson. I heard him and David West got into it. He's a straight-up wankster. I said it. Bye, you guys.
All right, Robin.
Interesting.
Offensive line is playing better.
Yes.
Listen, offensive line play is like referees. If you leave a game not noticing the referees in the offensive line, that is a good thing.
I agree, but
you leave a game saying, that old Scott Foster, that old Mark Jackson,
well, Scott
or Mark
Foster's
Davis, you know what I'm saying? That old Tim Donnie. Would you say, oh, man, Mike McGlinchey? We didn't mention Michael McGlinchey. Now, the pocket was getting muddled a bit.
But I thought
Jimmy stepped up in the pocket and delivered dimes in that pocket. So I love
and wouldn't you agree that there were holes, like gaping holes for Jeff Wilson Jr.?
The run game was spectacular.
Big time holes. And I'm imagining Elijah Mitchell with his speed. He's running for big time chunk plays.
What I was getting at.
And Brunskill was in there too. Did you notice that?
Yeah, no doubt.
They were like rotating Banks and Brunskill.
What I was getting at, let Banks play. Banks has been solid.
Can Brunskill play center?
Maybe.
Brendel seems like, maybe I'm wrong here, but Brendel is the one who feels like the soft spot.
One thing I wanted to get to, though.
But he was good.
When it comes to Christian McCaffrey and maybe going all in at the deadline. Because now with Jimmy Garoppolo back in the saddle, and we don't have to rehash this, but as soon as Trey Lance got hurt, a lot of people thought Jimmy gave him the best chance to win a Super Bowl. Here's where my mind is now. As they beat the Panthers 37-15. And hopefully they can beat Atlanta. You go 2-0 on this road trip. You come back home and play Kansas City. And you look at the landscape in the NFC. Now look at how dominant this defense is. And you're getting reinforcements back. You won that game without Armstead, Ken Law, Bosa didn't play in the second half. No Jimmy Ward, he played one play. And you go out there and handle business. This is a Super Bowl type defense. So in my mind, as we get deeper into October and we move into November, Shasky, my mind is starting to go Operation Glendale.
Yeah.
Operation Super Bowl. What do I need to do to get ready for this postseason run with this football team? Because they're training up. They're getting better. You're now 3-2 after all the adversity over the last 8 weeks. All the adversity. It's now starting to become Operation Glendale. I'm starting to get there, Shasky.
Well, I'm with you on this. And it's really hard to envision one of these teams trading a wide receiver around the league because I do believe they could use another wide receiver. But this is a team that's not really going to throw the ball around a whole lot. So why not strengthen an already strength of the team in the run game and go get another running back who can also be a pass catcher?
I like that.
He is a dynamic. Think of the amount of pressure matching up when you get December and you get January and you got Debo and Christian McCaffrey on the field together.
Now, the contract is something else, and people are already pointing the contract out. Oh, that money's not good. Maybe you could restructure. I have no idea.
They got a lot of bad money on the team.
You know what?
Yeah, how's Armstead's contract looking?
Just give me the playmaker.
Exactly.
Stop worried about the pennies.
Guys, we've been saving pennies left and right.
Right.
The Rams beat you by 2 plays. It was like a couple of plays
and
last year.
They spend nothing but money.
And do you think they regret it?
Hell no.
No. So I want the Super Bowl. Like we all want it.
All right, what's coming up? Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking. Don't compromise. It's Griffin, Trey, Danker, Adam. Get you on the other side as we talk a little Niners here to end the morning roll. So Victory Monday. Niners are in first place in the NFC West. They head to Atlanta to take on the Dirty Birds. We'll talk about that coming up here on the Roast.
The Niners took down the Panthers.
Turning left field for the touchdown. Spilling in. Tevin Coleman, the veteran. Garoppolo on the money. Deebo Samuel.
The only place to be after each 49ers game.
San Francisco has got a little something going now. The 49ers with a big win on Monday night over the Rams. They back it up with a victory in Carolina.
Feels great, baby.
95-7. The Game.
Good morning, everyone. This is world-renowned handicapper Chris Hodge with TakingVegas.com with a special offer. for Las Vegas and Kansas City tonight. Get this play absolutely free. Just visit takingvegas.com. This pick is there for you. This winner is there for you. Last week, Monday Night Football winner, San Francisco. 2 weeks ago, Monday Night Football winner, Dallas. The overall Monday Night Football record is 4-1. Tonight, we make it 5-1 absolutely free. Las Vegas and Kansas City. Just visit takingvegas.com. You can get free odds, free matchups, game write-ups, and a 30-day free trial. But it all centers around Las Vegas and Kansas City tonight. Absolutely free. No questions asked, no obligations. Just visit takingvegas.com. That's takingvegas.com. We are on a 13-4 pro football run. We add to it tonight. Las Vegas, Kansas City for free at takingvegas.com.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
This is your time to cash in at Cash Creek Casino Resort. To rock and to roll. Over the hills and bluffs. Go all out or go all in. With 4 stars and rising stars. Now we do more than ever, so you can do as much or as little as you want. It's your time to cash in at Cash Creek Casino Resort.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Are you seeing the telomeres here? Come here, look at the scope.
Dr. Ocasio's lab startup just discovered a gene therapy breakthrough.
The cells have already doubled.
He needs a fleet of research assistants before this breakthrough breaks them.
We need lab techs, research assistants.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The new Google Pixel 7 Pro is super, especially when it's on Verizon, the network America relies on. It's supercharged, super powered, and a super...
deal.
You know it. Now, switch to Verizon and get the Google Pixel 7 Pro on us with select trade-ins and select 5G unlimited plans.
That really is super.
Yep. There's never been a better time to switch to Verizon. $899.99 device payment purchase with new smartphone line on select 5G unlimited plans required. $200 Verizon e-gift card with ported. Less $700 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions and additional terms apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, an oil change with full synthetic oil like Valvoline Advance can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $36.99. Find your solution for better fuel efficiency today at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. In San Francisco today, mostly cloudy, highs in the upper to mid 60s.
Weather brought to you by one thing. Install a low-flow shower head and keep water off when brushing teeth or shaving to save water every day. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow.
Score big with Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with the game-changing speed of supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers the field and then some, and blocks billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you protected at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas.
Shotgun from Mayfield. Hooks a pass, and he tosses it to the other team, Mosley. Down the sideline, Mosley cuts it inside. All the way. Touchdown, San Francisco. And this defense continues to deliver. Pick six.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
For me, Wanksta is a top 10 beat. Song was hard. And he essentially ended Ja Rule.
Yes.
With this 3-verse song. Robin calling Trail Creed and Wanksta. He's not happy with Draymond. A lot of people saying, hey, Jordan Poole, put your hands up. It's just wow. Can't believe we got that going on, especially a week after Japan, where all the vibes were good. You see Curry and Jordan Poole go to sumo wrestle. You see Klay Thompson play with the sumo wrestlers. Looney, Dre. It's just a great trip, great vibes with the team. And then, boom, the punch hurt around the world Wednesday morning gets released on Friday, and here we are. But we will finish the show with a victory Monday, talking about the 49ers and their dominant victory.
Yeah, and on that same note, just really quickly, have you had a chance to see Redeem Team on Netflix?
I have not. I'm waiting to see it. Yes. No,
Can you please watch it?
I was waiting for Anna to finish. I'm not.
Don't blame her.
No, I'm not going to tell you what she was watching. But we had to get through that, and then the Redeem.
So I want you at some point this week watch that, and I want you to watch House of Dragons.
Well, I always watch House of Dragons.
Did you see it last night?
No, I always wait. So what I do, I watch Raising Canaan first.
Oh.
I'm a Power Stars guy.
Okay.
So Raising Canaan about the young 50 Cent. You know, that show's so gay. So it's so good. It's so good. It's a cheap thrill for me. Then I got Atlanta. I got to get to ATL as well. 925 Comcast Business Excellent. Bonte's a bigger wankster than Draymond, according to inside sources. Maybe I am a wankster. Just try to be me, though. Let's go to Trey and Vallejo.
How about Jimmy G?
How about Jimmy G and the 49ers, the first place 49ers in the NFC West? What up, Trey?
Top of the morning to you guys.
Top of the morning.
Good morning. Man, I want to touch on something, man. First, not taking nothing away from the Niners' victory, man, but let's just call it the way it is, Bronte. Baker Mayfield is done.
Done.
He's done. His career is over.
Done.
He's cooked. He's cooked. And that tough moxie attitude he tries to display when he does like that camera FaceTime by himself, it's over. It's over. But, I'm like you guys, too. I see the Niners being the best team right now. The only team I say that might have a shot in the NFC West, I give Arizona, because what you said, we don't know when Hopkins gets back, what they might have. Because, I see Seattle, nah. Rams, I think they're too complacent. I think they're happy with the championship they got. And so they're settled.
And they miss a second playmaker opposite Cooper Kupp. They dramatically miss Odell Beckham. You go back to those final two games of the year, the Super Bowl before he got hurt, and in the NFC, he was a stud for them.
And Allen Robinson just hasn't been that guy.
He hasn't gotten open.
He can't get open. I don't know what's going on with Allen Robinson. But it's not a good fit. You know who they also miss? They miss Van Jefferson.
Yes.
They're deep threat.
Yes.
Van Jefferson's space. He made big plays for the Rams last year. A lot of jet sweeps, a lot of deep routes, taking the top off the defense, leaving the underneath stuff open for Matt Stafford, Odell Beckham Jr., and Cooper Kupp. So they go Higbee, Kupp, and that Dallas defense looks ferocious.
Yeah,
you want to talk about top defenses? I think a collision course is going to be happening. It's either going to be Philly, Dallas, the 49ers. We heard Jerry Jones last week saying we want to get the 49ers back.
Yeah, of course he does, because he sees how much money he's going to make with all the Niner fans invading Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Can you imagine we get Niners Cowboys?
Oh, I would love it.
Levi Stadium in the divisional round?
Please. I would love it. And by the way, I love that they're going through their own quarterback controversy right now. I kind of love that.
They're undefeated. But it's not like Cooper Rush is lighting the world on fire.
Hey, good for McCarthy.
Their defense, Dan Quinn. Talk about head coach.
Cowboys.
Philadelphia 5-0 as well.
Bring them to
Philadelphia 5-0.
We will lock them up on offense.
Let's go
their
to
offense.
Danker out in Malibu. Man, must be nice.
Whoa. Malibu's most wanted.
Odyssey yacht. Danker. What's happening?
Gentlemen, what's up, y'all? Yeah, I wish I could stay here longer, but no, I'm heading back. Actually, you know the homie Senzino. He's giving me a ride to the airport now, actually. But, okay. We need McCaffrey for sure. And who took Mike McCaffrey from the Niners? It was Mike Shanahan.
Oh, Ed McCaffrey, yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, Ed McCaffrey. Those families, it's like they're almost related. And honestly, I'm highly critical of Jimmy. We all know that at this point. I really want him to just step up more in the pocket. I think it'll help him. It'll give him better angles. The seam routes will be easier for him. And I just see that because the line is getting better. And that's something that helped Tom Brady kind of evolve his game maybe 8 years ago, where he started stepping up more, and then try to be more mobile. But no, you got to keep the drives alive, eliminate the injuries, and yeah, man, keep the momentum.
No doubt about that. Good call, Danker. Ernie and Concord, Comcast Business Text Line. What number will the Niners be on the King of the Hill this week? Wednesday, we shall see. 3 NFC East teams, though. Hey, NFC East, Giants, Cowboys, Eagles. A combined 13-2 so far this season.
There were a couple of plays that Barkley was sitting because he got hurt. He had a stinger of some sort.
Yeah.
I don't know, rib cage. I'm not really sure.
It was shoulder injury.
Was that what it was? He hit the turf so hard. Then he came back and looked like a dude shot out of a cannon.
That catch in the open field juke.
Saquon, I fear Saquon as much as any running back in the league.
He is a problem.
He's a beast.
He's a beast.
He's an unbelievable player.
He is a beast.
If I see another 3rd and 6 quarterback draw from Daniel Jones, though, I'm going to pull my hair out.
You know what, though? Daniel Jones playing some better football.
He is.
He's playing better football.
And I got to give credit to the coach who was the
Brian
Daboll.
Yeah.
He is making the most out of it.
No doubt.
Because they don't have a lot of weapons on the outside.
They don't at all. Richie James Jr. getting a lot of reps with them.
It is the straight up former 49ers team, isn't it?
Breida. He's on that roster.
And is it Richie James Jr. was, and Pettis is on, what's it called?
Pettis is on the Bears.
Yeah.
He's on the Bears.
But he was on the Giants.
Right. Let's go to Adam in the city. Adam, what's happening?
Richie James.
You're on the roast.
He had that one game against Green Bay.
And Carolina. Arizona.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The wide receiver screen. I flipped the game when they were down 16-0. What's up, Adam? What's happening? You're on the roast.
What's up, guys? Good morning. It's funny we can tell when it's a victory Monday because you guys are just in a much chipper mood. Not to say you're never chipper, but after a victory, it's much better.
I know.
No, I want to call in today to give.
Well, Adam, real quick.
Props to
Actually, last Victory Tuesday, your boy was over here. Your boy was all one.
Yeah, you were salty.
I know. Well,
Too much time in the parking lot leaving.
Well, no. I was actually out in the parking lot in 5 minutes. I get out in 5 minutes in the Levi's parking lot. It was just more so people telling me who I should give credit to. Let me give my game balls away. You know what? Today, I'll give a game ball, Adam, to Jimmy Garoppolo. How about that? Jeff Wilson Jr. and Jimmy Garoppolo get game balls. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, well, you got to give credit where credit.
Agreed.
Like maybe last week, sure, it's like okay, wasn't that great of a performance. However, yesterday, what I saw is a quarterback who their quarterback and head coach are starting to put their differences aside and gel together again. And kind of what to Danker's point about Jimmy G stepping up in the pocket. That's exactly what I was seeing yesterday. Like the Panthers pass rush got in the backfield like really quickly, but Jimmy just took 2 little steps up, looked around, surveyed the field, pop. Like I remember the first play of the 3rd quarter, play action pass, and you're like, what's Jimmy gonna do? And he launched it. Didn't complete the pass, but I'm like, you know what? I like seeing
Me too.
that. Like I don't care that it was incomplete. I like seeing you air out the ball and just I don't know. His timing looked better yesterday. The rhythm. And like you said, like we don't want to make excuses for, it's like riding a bike and now I don't have time.
We just got to give him credit when he plays well.
Right.
Adam, like it's like when he plays bad, we'll break it down. When he plays really well like he did yesterday, he deserves all the flowers. Like that's what I want from Jimmy Garoppolo. Decisive, instinctual in terms of the pre-snap recognition of who to go to, like which particular matchup is the one that I want to attack.
Right.
His ability to step up in the pocket and at least avoid the big net loss. All of those things. Check. I thought he was great yesterday.
And he didn't look afraid to throw in the tight windows yesterday.
The third down to Kittle?
The third down to Kittle. How about Debo on the touchdown?
Good call on that.
Debo on another first down. He threw in the tight windows with velocity.
Yeah.
Which means his shoulder is starting to feel a bit better here as we move forward into the season. Again, it's October. It's go time, folks. It's go time. So to be 3-2 in first place in the NFC West, despite the injuries, can you overcome the injuries? Can you get to the bye week and get a little healthier? That'll be the goal for the 49ers. But also, look, Philadelphia is 5-0. I don't know how many games they're going to lose this year. They're rolling right now. They play well on both sides of the ball. They play good special teams as well. Arizona does not play good special teams, which is why they lost the game yesterday. You see that kick to tie the game was awful.
Yeah, again, the sequence leading up to it, they had like 25 or 30 seconds, and Kyler scrambled in the middle of the field, slid premature, doesn't get the first down, so then he has to spike it on third down, creating a fourth down where all you can do is kick a field goal there. And then, what's the name of the coach for the Eagles? Sirianni.
Sirianni, yeah.
He calls a timeout, and then their kicker. I mean, that was just a shank.
It was just a shank. Straight up shank. Arizona's lost 8 straight home games.
What?
Well, I mean, we can't laugh because what was a Niners streak?
But they've lost 8 straight?
8 straight home games, excuse me. 8 straight home games.
That's incredible. I didn't know it was
They lost all 3 this year.
That was incredible.
They've lost all 3 this year. They lost 5 in a row last year, late in the season. What was the Niners streak last year? Remember they had a stretch where they didn't win a home game for a calendar year.
Well, I mean, they also played in the state of Arizona at the end of 2020.
They did. Yeah, they lost 5. They lost to Seattle last year, the last game of the season. Lost to Indianapolis on that Saturday game, Christmas Day. They lost to the Rams on Monday Night Football. Lost to Carolina 34-10. And then Cam Newton on that game. Remember that when Cam Newton signed with the Panthers? Yelled it to the camera, "I'm back." Yeah, it wasn't quite back yet. Yeah, they haven't won a game at home since October 24th of last season.
The only guy who's allowed to say "I'm back" is Steph Curry.
Yeah, that's it.
I love you, Cam, but no. I'm back.
Boy, we were another bad Jimmy game away from people saying, well, why don't you look at the cash, dude? We were getting close. Somebody's going to do it this year. Somebody.
I thought New England would do it, but then Zappy came through yesterday.
Zappy, they shut out the Lions.
I couldn't believe that.
I love those throwbacks, too. How about that? The throwbacks with the red
jerseys? For the Patriots?
Yeah.
Yeah, those should be their permanents.
Those are sick.
And I love the 1990s ones that almost look like soccer jerseys where it's like a subtle stripe.
The Drew Bledsoe specials.
I call those the Ben Coates, Curtis Martins.
Coates. Yeah. Those are nice. Everybody's, dude, in the Bay Area, that's when people in the Bay Area start liking the Patriots because of those uniforms with the logo on the shoulder pad.
Hard.
They were hard. Let's go to Griffin in the city. What's up, Griffin? What's happening?
Hey, what's up, Bonte? What's up, Shafty? Love the show. Thanks for having me on today.
Thank you.
Just want to compliment, Jimmy G and Shanahan. I finally feel like they're starting to click and point things in the right direction. This was a Niners win, though, and, I want to see that Jimmy G from 2019 when he had that comeback against the Saints. I want to see us win games, put teams away with throwing the ball, and I don't know if we're there yet. I do think we have the team in place right now on offense. Christian McCaffrey, like you guys said, hey, that would be great, but I don't really see it happening. What we have is a slew of running backs that I think once they learn the system, once they know the offense, get those guys involved down the stretch. Yeah. Those guys can make plays. Those guys can do things. I think the little that they've shown, I know it's a trust factor. We get Coleman off the streets and bring the guy in 2 touchdowns yesterday. Freaking awesome, right? And our defense is just so much depth And yeah, it hurts when E-Man goes down, right?
It big time.
It does hurt.
Somebody in the wings like a Jason Verrett in the wings. We have so much depth, that we can take risks down the field. And I think Shanahan has to start seeing that now with Jimmy. And if they thrive in an uncomfortable environment, going forward, we're saying let's take some risks now because we have a defense. We're not going to get a pick 6 every week, but let's go.
Let's go. Great call, Griffin. And he brought up Jason Verrett waiting in the wings. We all talked about the insurance policy that was Jimmy Garoppolo. We had to cash in on that insurance because Trey Lance was hurt 5 quarters into the season, and he's out for the year. But now you get Jason Verrett. You lose a Mosley. How many teams, when you lose a starting cornerback, the drop-off from starter to the guy who has to replace him is massive.
There still might be a drop-off.
It still might be with Verrett, but we know Verrett has been a pro. He's very solid. When he plays, he's solid.
The problem is he's never healthy. That's really the biggest knock on the guy. I mean, it's the knees and stuff. I mean, when he plays, he's very athletic. I mean, he's a very good player.
So Matt Rule, real quick, got fired today. Breaking news. Matt Rule, coach of the Carolina Panthers, fired during his 38-game tenure as head coach of the Carolina Panthers.
He got 38 games. So that's what?
38 games.
2.5
seasons.
And plus?
2.5 seasons.
Okay.
His quarterbacks, Teddy Bridgewater, washed up Cam Newton, Sam Darnold, P.J. Walker, Baker Mayfield. You have no shot.
No
shot as head coach.
Yeah, but you know what? It's funny because that's what everyone does with now Shanahan's back to 500 for career overall record. Was he 45-45?
45.
Okay, and everyone goes, well, look at the record with Jimmy Garoppolo. Look at every head coach without a starting quarterback. Look what Mike Tomlin's going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tomlin is playing the quarterback thing. It was a miracle they went 8-8 the 1 year that Big Ben did go down.
Right.
And now it's starting to regress to the situation where if you don't have a competent mid-level starter, you're going to have a losing record. I don't care who you are.
Baker Mayfield drafted number 1 in the draft that included Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Well, the
Cleveland
Baker thing was
Browns.
wild because I remember his ascension up the ranks, and I thought he was a second-round pick.
At best.
Even though he had a great year. I kept saying second-round pick. And then he goes number 1 overall? Not that those other guys should have went number 1. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I didn't think Baker deserved to go number 1 overall.
He shouldn't have got it. Broke draft day that he was going to go
Remember
number
that?
1. And he took the photo like Brett Favre right before the draft. It was just like, all right, this is getting wild. But you could see it in the Rose Bowl against Georgia that Baker had his limitations. And the Georgia Bulldogs, I remember walking off the field, I was talking massive stuff to Baker Mayfield. Now, that game was loaded with stars. Nick Chubb, Sonny Michel. You had Roquan Smith on defense. You had C.D. Lamb. You had Hollywood Brown. Good, go on. I can watch that game right now and be like, damn, that's a pro football game.
Hollywood Brown still dropping passes.
But not that game. Not that game. C.D. Lamb in that game? Woo-wee. I could watch that. I might go back home and watch that Rose Bowl. It was sick.
Do something better.
Dude, no, Nick Chubb in that game, sick. Pasadena, perfect grass, flyovers, the granddaddy of them all. That was next level. But you can see in that game though that Baker against speed. Okay, I don't know about this. He did not look like a number 1 pick in that game.
He thinks he's more athletic than he is.
Yeah,
and it's like, you're not, dude.
Not even
like
close.
You're a pocket guy. And everyone's like, Drew Brees. He could be Drew Brees. You know how rare it is to be Drew Brees?
Yeah.
I mean, again, in the Hall of Fame, in the history of the NFL, in the modern NFL, there are 2 guys 6'1" and under who are in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Damn.
2 guys, Fran Tarkenton and Drew Brees is going to go in there.
No doubt.
All right, and then maybe Russell Wilson.
And Tarkenton could run around.
Yeah,
he had speed. He could run around. That's who Russell Wilson in his prime reminded a lot of people of, where he can move around, run around, and make plays with his legs. By the way, Matt Rule owed $40 million.
Well, okay, one last thing as we talk
$40
offenses.
million.
Forget Baker for a second.
Imagine that getting fired, you getting $40 million?
Yeah, that's why you think you
he's
didn't
going to coach college soon?
You didn't hear the Ed Orgeron? They're like, hey, when he got fired from LSU, they said to him, all right, we're going to pay you all the money.
Right.
Oh, you're paying me everything?
$17 million?
Which door do you want me to exit? That's exactly what I would say.
He's $17 million in the bank, baby.
All right, so here's where I'm going on the offense for Jimmy and Kyle. What I love this week, and it's not going to be the case every week because you got to see what the defense is giving you. They use the throw to open up the run. That's my interpretation of it. And then as they kind of wore them down with the pass, it felt like the gaping holes in the run game. That's the great thing that I'm seeing from the 2 of them is he's not just staying super conservative with Jimmy Garoppolo early in games. The fact that he threw to Kittle, threw to Ayuk, threw to Jenny, like boom, 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 and it got that defense to back up a little.
It's a Bill Walsh staple.
Yes.
The pass setting up the run.
I loved it.
Loosening up the defense. Getting defenses from stacking the box with 8 defenders to maybe having 7 defenders. Or maybe that 8th defender is now, instead of playing 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, maybe he's back 8 to 9 yards, which gives a running back a lot more room. Jimmy has to throw it. 30 attempts yesterday, too. 18 to 30. Passing game starting to work here. And the one thing is, too, Shanahan, you heard the scheme yesterday. Charles Davis, who was on the broadcast with Iron Eagle on CBS, brought up the script. He said Shanahan scripts the first 24 plays of the game. First 24 plays of the game, he scripts, and then the first 8 of the second half. So that's 32 scripted plays. How many snaps a game do you get? 60, 62, 64, 65? So basically half the game is scripted. I'm not mad at that.
No, I'm not either. Did you also hear that they dropped the stat that Damon had?
No.
Damon teased this stat for like 2 days, Thursday and Friday, about Carolina. And I was like, I got to hear what this stat is. And the stat was like 1 for 27 when the opponent scores 17 or more, which is a wild stat. That's what Carolina was. And the Niners got to 17, and boom, Iron Eagle dropped the Damon stat.
I love that. That's pretty good.
It was.
Look at Iron stealing.
And he's like, do you know this stat? And I'm like, yeah, I do, because I listen to the Damon Bruce show.
That's a great
Also,
stat.
by the way, while we're here, Ratto and Damon were phenomenal on Thursday and Friday, breaking down the Draymond Green stuff. I was sitting in my car for quite some time. It was fascinating.
There you go. They're always fascinating. They're the best in the business. Cody in South Carolina, what's happening?
What's up, Cody?
You're on the roast.
What's up, guys? I was at the game yesterday, and I just want to call and it was so cool seeing the amount of red at that stadium. Niners absolutely took over, and by the fourth quarter, those fans were calling for Matt Rule's head. It was something else to see.
And they beheaded Matt Rule. He'll be coaching college somewhere. But Niner fans, that's one underrated thing about this fan base. As much as we go off and as crazy as we are about the quarterbacks and the wide receivers and what the coach is doing, 49er fans travel. 49er fans travel. There's a lot of red at Bank of America Stadium. And Craig Mack was telling me there's a huge 49er fan base down in Atlanta. Of course, Atlanta and Carolina used to be in the old NFC West.
I miss those
days. Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans, and you had the Rams going to St. Louis. You had all those 10 o'clock kickoffs in the NFC West. It was a lot of fun.
Did you notice that when they were coming back from commercial, CBS was doing the old still photos from the 90s when the Niners and Carolina used to play? That's one thing. You want to tug at my heartstrings? Show me throwback vintage still photos.
No.
It was Jerry Rice in those, and I know you don't like them, but I love those jerseys with the white pants and the gold trim.
You're a sucker for those jerseys. Not good. When you think back in hindsight, it's like, why the hell did they ever go to those uniforms?
Well, switching it up.
You didn't need to switch it up.
They were trying to parlay it off the 94
Yeah,
team.
you didn't do that. You didn't need to do that.
Well, B. To each his own.
To each his own. Carolina, man, they're in the world trouble here.
I still like their uniforms.
Yeah, their uniforms are still sick.
I like their whole collection.
Yeah,
the silver, the black, the I don't know. Is that a baby blue or is that more? It's not
like
teal.
It's kind of like a Carolina
like
baby
aqua?
blue. It's like a Carolina baby blue.
Yeah.
It's like the Carolina baby blue.
Because when I think teal, I think more of like a darker green, more Jacksonville. Maybe I'm wrong.
So total offensive plays for the Niners, 61 total plays. So that means 32 of their 61 plays were scripted. The first 24 plays, Charles Davis, I think this stuff is fascinating.
Yeah.
First 24 plays scripted, and then the first 8 of the second half scripted.
Yeah, after he adjusts.
Right.
And I guess he tries to get into that locker room and break that down. I had never heard that adjustment.
Right. 32 of the 61 plays scripted yesterday. So now I'm going to be thinking about that. First 24 plays scripted, first 8 plays after halftime scripted. I can't believe Shanahan let that leak.
Shanahan, he gives out information to the national people. I know we're worried about Emmanuel Mosley. He's probably going to be out for the year. I'm really worried about this Bosa one, though. And I'm not trying to put a damper on it.
Yeah.
This is one that could linger all year.
I mean, George Kittle seems to have gotten over the groin injury.
That's a good point.
The first couple games.
That's a good point.
He's gotten over it. Let's see.
I've hurt the groin. It's touch and go. You think it's good, then you stretch out. It's not good.
Let's see. All right.